down, down. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to get you down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to get you down, down, down. Da 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 da. let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Mama, please don't walk by me. I'm not about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
Gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me.
Hi, Dave from DTE here. Ooh, this dirty HVAC filter makes your system work a lot harder, and that costs money. But they're really easy to change. First, just check the edge of your current filter to see what size to buy. Then, just insert the new filter with the arrow facing toward the furnace. It's that easy. Energy bill savings. Get more tips on our website.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you gotta get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Van Andel Arena, the home of your Grand Rapids Griffins. We are committed to creating a safe, comfortable, and enjoyable game night experience. Fans will be treated with professionalism and courtesy by our dedicated staff. Please cooperate with our staff and follow emergency procedures when necessary. We expect fans to enjoy the game without any disruptive behaviors. Enjoy alcoholic beverages responsibly, and note that alcohol can no longer be purchased after the second intermission. Fans, if you see something, say something. We are here to help and want everyone to have a great time. Fighting, entering onto the ice, and throwing objects is strictly prohibited. Any violations of the rules can result in ejection, so don't be that guy. Thank you, and have a great time, and let's go Griffins! As part of the Griffins Charitable Goals program, players have teamed up with businesses to help raise money for local charities. This year's Charitable Goals partners are Centennial Securities, donating $50 for every goal scored by Dominic Shine to Kids Food Basket. Fox Motors is donating $100 for every goal scored by Carter Mazer to the Griffins Youth Foundation. Planet Fitness is donating $50 for every goal scored by Nate Danielson to the Boys and Girls Clubs. Meyer is donating $50 for every goal scored by Sheldon Dries to the Jamie Daniels Foundation. Consumers Credit Union is donating $100 for every goal scored by Marco Casper to Fostering Futures Scholarship Fund. Acrisure is donating $100 for each goal scored by Joe Snively to the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. BHS Insurance is donating $100 for each goal scored by Tim Gettinger to Feeding America West Michigan. Kilwins is donating $1 per save by Griffins goaltenders to Kids Food Basket. The Grand Rapids Griffins thanks you for your support. And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Hello to you all. This is Eric Zane, your public address announcer, welcoming you to the Freezer on Fulton. As tonight, the Griffins take on the Manitoba Moose, primary affiliate of the NHL's Winnipeg Jets. Riding with Bradley on the dash Zamboni is Willa. Everybody say hi, Willa. And taking a ride on the Meyer Johnsonville Zamboni today with Keith is Jacob. Everybody say hi, Jacob. The official scorers for tonight's game are Doug McNeil and Walt Clark. Game statisticians John Fitzgerald, Ian McNeil, Jan Clark, Nicholas Winsemius, and Chris Campbell. Game timekeeper Josie Sundberg, thank God. Penalty timekeeper Mark Steenbergen. Penalty box attendants Skip Spencer and Tom Van Tool. The supervisor is Walter Clark. Timeout coordinator Terry Marshall.
Terry's not here, never mind. The referees for tonight's game are Bobby Joe Love and Adam Tobias. Linesmen are Jake Davis and Luke Pye. Scratches tonight are brought to you by the University of Michigan Health West. For the Moose, scratch number 2, Tyrell Bauer. Number 8, Ben Zalotti. 16, Chaz Lucius. 40, Daniel Torgerson. 49, Mark Lewiski. For the Griffs, scratch number 3, Tori Dello. 43, Carter Mazer. 30, Malcolm Subad. And 35, Gage Alexander. Starting for the Moose, at forward 13, Brad Lambert. At forward 25, Parker Ford. At forward 45, Dominic Toninato. At defense 7, Simon Lundmark. At defense 44, Elias Salmanison. The goaltender is number 50, Dominic DiVincentis.
Devin, and me and him are rocking our matching shirts today, and he is going to go ahead and get us started by saying those 3 words that we are ready to hear. Devin, let's hear it. Let's play hockey. Let's play hockey. We got to get the energy up. We got to get ready. Griffins fans, I need you to get those phones out, turn those flashlights on. Let me see you bring the energy. Are you guys ready to play some hockey?
Gentlemen, hockey fans, boys and girls, welcome to the world-famous Van Andel Arena, the site of tonight's game with your Grand Rapids Griffins. Now, let's start this party off by introducing the #1 mascot in all of sports, Griff! Flying out onto the ice with his partner in crime, Finn, and the Pepitos promo crew. And now, let's follow the spotlights to the Huntington Horn, where Keegan is going to sound the horn. Go, Keegan, go! And that's the cue for the boys to make their way to the most storied walk in hockey, the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. High Five Ellie! Making the final turn. Let's welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, your Grand Rapids Griffins. And now it's time to meet the starting lineup, brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Up forward, number 29, Nate Danielson. Up forward, number 51, Austin Watson. Up forward, number 85, Elmer Soderblom. Griffins defense, number 22, William Fallinder. And also on defense and captain, number 44, Josiah Didier. And between the pipes, the big fella, number 33, Sebastian Cosa. The head coach of the Griffins is Dan Watson, assisted by Steph Julian and Brian Lashoff. Goaltending coach Rope Koistinen. Video coach Eric Youngie. Strength and conditioning coordinator, the immortal Marcus Kinney. Athletic trainer is Austin Frank, assisted by Katie Berglund. Head equipment manager is Brad Dog Thompson, assisted by Kyle Hornko. Grand Rapids, these are your Grand Rapids Griffins. At this time, we kindly ask you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And now, performing the United States National Anthem, please welcome Maya and Mason Ayers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave
Maya, age 10, and Mason, age 7, the Ayers. Excellent job with the anthem. Lights! Are you ready? Oh, you can do better than that. Are you ready? It's a Saturday night. Let's play Griffins hockey. All right, fans, we got a face-off. Keith in the zone. We've got more skaters. Grand Rapids, let's make some noise. Loose penalty on number 10, Kevin Connolly, 2 for interference at 2:26. Connolly, 2 for interference at 2:26. That puts your Griffins on a DTE Energy Power Play.
Will send it across the ice, and he's got an open man for a shot, and it's high over top the net. And will ring up into the netting as the Moose got pushed. For the second time on this power play, they actually split the defenders. They'll have to go collect it in their own end. They'll be about that quickly. Rakowski will work his way into the Moose zone. Hacked a little bit there by Janssen Fjallby. Play continues. And the Griffins able to set up. Well, the Moose now will steal, and Sautner able to bank it off the wall. And the Moose heading down the ice dangerously. Here's Janssen Fjallby into the zone, but he'll elect to spin back and flips it into his own zone. Weren't any defenders back there, but DiVincentis was able to get to the puck. And as the change finishes, Lundmark will get it down the ice with 30 seconds left in the Grand Rapids power play. 4 minutes into the first, still 0-0. Moose haven't allowed a shot on goal on this penalty kill. Rakowski up the right side. He's into the zone, but only briefly as Lundmark sends him back. Lombardi over for Soderblom. Leaves it off at the line. And Bouillon will pick his way forward in the final moments of this power play. Shai Bouillon works it in behind the Moose net, heads off on a change, and Manitoba will eliminate the remainder of this penalty time. Nice flip ahead for Connolly. He's out of the box and onto the puck. Tries to drive to the goal, but is taken out hard by Lagasit. They'll give him a little bit of an extra finish into the wall there. Griffins back the other way, and they'll flip it down to the near corner of the Moose zone. Quickly bounced out for Anhorn, and he'll keep it moving for Brad Lambert. Danny Jilkin jumping onto the puck. They'll chase it over to the corner for Nikita Chibrikov. Chibrikov jolted off it. Forward over to the near side to try and loosen it up, but the Griffins will push it into the Moose zone. But it's right onto the stick of Danny Jilkin. Jilkin picking his way forward. Comes up to the line. It's jostled there as the Griffins trying to activate the physical game here early in this one. 5:15 into the first. 0-0, and much like last night, shots tough to come by. They're 1-1 at the moment. Puck rattled around the boards in the Moose zone. Barteau exchanges the puck with DiVincentis, and the Moose heading up ice. Here's Tony Nato into the zone for Sautner on the left side. Does well to knock the puck out of the air, and his shot just missed on the far side. Comes around the boards, out to neutral ice. Snively briskly forward, plays it in for Dries. A hot shot that catches DiVincentis in the mask. He fights it off, moves to the rebound, and Lambert skating the other way. He'll try and fight his way into the zone. Gets down into the corner. Tony Nato working on it. Janssen Fjallby joining this line early. Here's Anhorn. Tony Nato knocked down in front of the net. Lambert fighting for it, top of the zone, and it's eventually knocked off him. And the Griffins heading the other way. The Shine will bring it in. He gets tangled up with Kuzmin. Anhorn behind the net. Under pressure. Shine will come away with the puck. Sends it off to the far side for Linder. Tips it back. And it's sent back in behind the net again, this time for Danielson. To the front of the net. That one knocked away. And C.J. Cease will gather it up for the Moose and bring it forward. And actually Janssen Fjallby in after it. Plays it off for Cease. Tried to backhand it out in front for King, who is charging towards the crease. That's blocked, but the Moose retrieve, though Janssen Fjallby's pass wide of Salamonson. He's got to come back out to center, then gives the puck away to Shine. Shine in the zone, but hard back on that play was Cease, and the Moose will clear it.
So just if you hear us doing it.
6:45 gone in the first. Still 0-0. As Soderblom stumbles and bumbles his way into the zone after taking a hit. And eventually the Moose able to strip him of the puck, despite the good effort. And they'll send it up for Conley. Conley fights it down low. Meekinen in pursuit as well, but again, it's a quick exit by Grand Rapids. Empey able to pick it up at center before sending it right down into Grand Rapids territory. Shots 2-1 in favor of the Griffins at the moment. Good tip out of the zone. Could be a 2-on-1, but Barteau alert, jumps up and knocks the puck back down into Grand Rapids territory before it can become dangerous. Griffins will send it down in the Moose zone. DiVincentis out to play it. Rings it around Chibrikov. On for Jokin, a little too far in front of him though.
Yeah, I can hear you
fine.
fine.
Back to the Moose line. Manitoba resets with Barteau. The Foxwarren product over to Sockner. They'll go back and forth before it's up to the Grand Rapids blue line. Chibrikov has it stripped away, and Rakovsky now in on the right side. He'll try a shot. Might have been a lead pass. Either way, it was heading to the net.
The timeout on the ice. We welcome out the Dave and Buster's Ice Crew.
Just shy of the 8-minute mark of the first period. 0-0 the score between
and
the Moose and the
fans,
Griffins.
look to the video board where tonight the Cawthorn family, there they are. They've been chosen to be moved up on an upgrade with their seats, courtesy of Powell Relocation Group. Powell Relocation Group, providing quality moving and storage services to West Michigan since 1962. Just like our friends, the Cawthorn family. Thanks for being here. Sorry about the Patrick Mahomes jersey. For 54 consecutive weeks. That will likely come to an end after their 21-7 loss today to Illinois. So soon we'll be on the radio broadcast, but for now we've got you on FloHockey, and great to have you along with us in a scoreless tie. The Griffins and the Manitoba Moose, 8 minutes and 6 seconds into period number 1. Much like last night, Lou, a kind of a tight checking game so far. In fact, only 3 shots on net combined between the two teams. The Griffins have 2. Manitoba has 1, and nobody has really had a glorious scoring chance by any stretch of the imagination.
No, to your point, Bob, really tracks last night's game. I think Manitoba had 20 shots and Grand Rapids had 19, so both low scoring, although Grand Rapids just had a great chance right there, and they're going to get a power play.
Shot right from the slot area on a delayed penalty call against the Moose, and that will put the Griffins for the second time already in this opening period on the power play. And indeed, they did get a quality grade A scoring chance there, right in the slot area, but a good right pad save made by DiVincentis. Dominic DiVincentis is the goaltender tonight. Thomas Millett, who played well for the Moose in goal last night in a losing cause. Of course, the Griffins taking game 1 of this 2-game series 1-0 on 1 goal by Joe Snively at the 10:26 mark of the second period. Carter Mazur, who not long after that left the game due to injury, and he is out of the lineup tonight, is the second-year pro Carter Mazur. But that goal, and then Billy Husso's 22 saves, and the Griffins have 2 wins at home. They're 2-0 here at the Van Andel Arena, hoping to start the season 3-0 if they can get it done tonight. As they go to work on the power play, and that power play needs some work
right now, Lou.
Yeah, it's 1 for 13 on the season. This is their 13th power play. So
Griffins chasing the puck down in their own end. Will work it up ice on the left wing. It's played by Joe Snively, two-time Calder Cup champ, back-to-back with Hershey, and the Griffins have it down along the near boards, but a pass went deflecting up into the netting. That'll stop the play, and still 1:29 to go in this DTE Energy power play. Griffins will hit the road after tonight and play 4 straight on 4 and ice beginning next Friday in Springfield. Then they'll make their first ever visit to Allentown, Pennsylvania for a 2-game series against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And then wrap it up in Hartford a week from Wednesday before returning home.
boy, nice to see some of those teams you just never see.
Yeah, rarely. In fact, Lehigh will be the, as mentioned, first ever matchup with the Phantoms. Griffins in all their years in this league. Now, Lehigh has not been a part of the league as long as Grand Rapids has. However, long enough to leave you scratching your head wondering, why have we not played them to this point? Well, you can top that one, Providence, who we've been in this league with for 24 years, Lou, and we still haven't played the Providence Bruins. Play back underway. The puck shot the length of the ice by Manitoba, down to 55 remaining in the Griffin power play. As Lou mentioned, just 1 power play goal on the season. 0 for 3 last night against the Moose. At least get some opportunities, which they have not been able to generate much. Now, here's Tuomisto with a puck in the Moose zone down to our right. Dropped it off in the corner to Austin Watson. Watson got it back to Snively to the left circle. He goes in a shot, and that one deflecting over top of the net. Winds up at center ice with 25 seconds now on the Griffin power play. There's Soderblom along the line. They step into the zone. It's an offside called against Grand Rapids. And a face-off will take place just outside that Manitoba line. Moose are decked out in the all-blue, dark blue road uniform with light blue and white trim. Look just like their parent team, the Winnipeg Jets. While the Griffins are wearing the home whites with the red, black, and gold trimming, the red pants and the white socks. Grand Rapids moving left to right as you look at your radio dial. Moose winning the draw and quickly rifled it all the way down. Griffins back to get it, and here comes Lombardi on left wing. Lombardi tried to step around the defense, unable to do so as Dylan Anhorn denied him. Puck, though, still deep in Manitoba territory as the Moose wind up with it. The penalty is over, and Grand Rapids 0 for 2 and without a shot on net on either power play. As we remain scoreless, 9.5 minutes to play here in the opening period. Season number 29 for the Grand Rapids Griffins began last Friday night with a 3-0 shutout of Milwaukee. Griffins then went on the road Saturday, only to lose 4-1 in Rockford before the 1-0 win over the Manitoba Moose here last night.
2 shutouts at home. Great way to start your home season.
Oh, no kidding. Here come the Griffins now with numbers. Hannah's pass right in front of the net. That one skipped right by the intended target, Alex Doucette. He was sent to walk in there as the Moose now with the puck. It'll be Danny Zhilkin to head back up ice and lift it down to the Grand Rapids zone where Vero will play it. Drop for defensive partner Rogan Rafferty. Up the right wing to Hannes. He tipped it out to center. Moose quickly back in across that Griffin line. Nifty move by Johnson Fialbi, but he got slowed up, and the Griffins will take the puck away, work it up the other way, and dump it down to the Manitoba zone. Griffins momentarily came up with it. Now get it back. Here's Shine dropping the puck back left point. William Lagesson will play it. Wrapped it around the boards. It's skipped by Joe Snively, though. And played by the Moose on left wing. C.J. Cease will dump it in. That's going to be an offside called against Manitoba. We've got a break in the play. 8 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the opening period. Great job defensively so far by Grand Rapids. Only 2 shots allowed for the visiting Moose. The Griffins have generated just 4 at the other end, and we are scoreless as we continue in a moment live from Van Andel Arena. This is Grand Rapids Griffins hockey. Bob Kaiser alongside Lou Rabot back here at Van Andel Arena as Lou Rabot making his season debut. We'll see how exhausted you are tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Because, as you know, this is extending yourself doing what we do up here.
I don't think everybody's buying that one, Bob.
You're not in mid-season form, are you?
I'm not mid-season form yet. No.
One thing's for sure, physically, Lou Rabot is definitely in tip-top shape. Still riding the bike and making sure he's as healthy as they come. Good to have
trying
Lou
to be
back.
as healthy as I can be.
Yeah,
I don't like the alternative.
You're doing a pretty good job of it, Lou, and I envy you, man. All the traveling and
yeah, it's tough. I mean, what you do, all that travel, especially during the season and all that, that's just tough. I have tremendous respect for, believe it or not, truck drivers. I really do.
Oh, boy.
I just think that's an incredibly difficult job.
That's the ultimate definition grind.
Yeah,
right there, right? Puck bouncing around the Griffins line right now. And
ooh, nice tip.
Man, Manitoba holding it in. Conley threw it at the net. It was deflected down behind the net.
Ooh,
now.
it's in the net.
Can you stop a 100-mile-per-hour slap shot? Find out at the Hockey Faster Than Ever exhibition. A can't-miss fusion of sports, science, and hands-on fun at the Henry Ford. Get your tickets at thf.org.
Kosa back between the pipes. His third game of the season. Kosa with a 2.01 goals against. The shutout last Friday night. And then the 4-1 loss in Rockford. And Lou and I were talking during the break that, of course, Lou was not in Rockford with me for that one, but Kosa certainly played well in that hockey game. And in fact, if not for him, it might have been a more lopsided score than it was. So he's off to a good start. So key in his development, Lou. And if he puts the kind of season together you think he's going to put together, then you got to think starting next year he's going to be a Red Wing.
Well, and you know, he is the one. There's a triple by the Griffins. He is the size. Kosa is the size that everybody dreams of for a NHL goaltender. I mean, not only does he have height, I think he's 6'7", but he's also he's beefy. I mean, he's 220 pounds.
And
so many of these young goalies are, they're twigs.
Yeah.
And
he's incredibly athletic, Lou, as you've seen too.
Yep.
So he's got all the tools to become. The work ethic and what you do behind the scenes will dictate just how far he goes. But he's certainly checking all those boxes too. And in our estimation, for whatever that's worth, he is well on his way. Not only to a long career in the NHL, but a very successful one. Now Chibrikov with a puck. The Moose have got it down in the Grand Rapids zone, near side, as they go to work with their first power play. Here's Chibrikov, left circle, side of the net, pass across, and a shot. Got blocked, rebound. Picked up and tapped behind the net by Brad Lambert. Around to the near side it goes, but it handcuffed Chibrikov and deflected all the way back into the Manitoba zone with 1:26 remaining in their power play. 6:25 to play in the first period. Still no score. Grand Rapids and Manitoba going at it here in western Michigan. Grand Rapids, about 30 minutes from Lake Michigan. Now the Moose scrambling to hold the puck inside that Griffin line. They do just that. Here's Chibrikov at the near point. Dropped it off in the middle. Now takes a return pass. Walks high slot. Lets a shot go. That one deflected in on net. Kicked away by the left pad of Kosa. Moose pounce on that rebound in the right wing corner. Get it back to the point area now, where it's Solomonson to play it. He feeds it back down low as the Moose go in and try and dig it free, but Patrick Ford had it taken away by Dominic Shine, and Shine will carry the puck up the near boards and dump it down behind the Moose net with 32 seconds now to go in their power play. Manitoba on the move. Dawson Barteau dropped it back. Now across the line they go as Janssen Fialbi will lay it back to the line. That one got away from Barteau, though, as it bounced on him. And here comes Soderblom up ice short-handed. He shot from left wing circle, fanned on it. And the Moose will wind it up with just 3 seconds remaining in the Didier penalty. Here's a steal. Soderblom's got a breakaway. He's in. Shot, save, rebound. Stopped again. Point blank by DeVicentis. 2 big stops right there to keep the Griffins off the scoreboard.
We talk about Soderblom. He's a huge man, but he really does have great hands. He just picked the pocket of the Manitoba player, went in, had a nice breakaway, got a shot off. Rebound came right back to a stick, but Manitoba goaltender was up to both shots.
DiVincentis, what a stop. Not only in the first one, but quick on the second. The rebound went right back to Soderblom. Now the Griffins have it again. Lombardi in alone. A shot and another save by DiVincentis as he stuck the right leg out and stopped that one. And the puck deflecting high off the glass where the Moose come up with it. Up the right wing they go into the circle, a shot, and that one seemed to fool Kosa a bit, but he fights it off, and the puck now picked up by the Griffins Lombardi, and now they've opened it up a little bit here, back and forth. Didn't see a lot of that here last night. A lot of skating back and forth, Lou, but just nobody could generate much in the way of any scoring opportunities, but that's changed here in the last minute or so. As the puck played away at center by the Moose. Parker Ford dumped it in. Griffins, though, back to play it. Now they leave it along the far boards. And Manitoba had it for a moment in their own end. Now they lose it. Griffins are going to walk right back in front of the net. Again with a chance, and that pass by Sheldon Dries sailed all the way through to the boards, and a shot there goes deflecting up and out of play. Great chances for the Griffins. Pretty good opportunity or two for the Moose. As we mentioned, things all of a sudden picking up, and the goaltender's being tested here in the last little while. It remains scoreless, 3:26 to go in the opening period. You're listening live to Griffins Hockey on Wood Radio and FloHockey.
Sorry, folks, we're closed for 2 weeks to clean and repair America's favorite family fun park. Sorry. What?
Goaltending at both ends, but more so DiVincentis, who's been tested a few times, Lou, in the last couple of minutes. Made some big stops. Former OHL goaltender of the year with North Bay, and a 7th round draft pick of the Winnipeg Jets, Dominic DiVincentis.
He has really had a terrific record in the Ontario Hockey League. 77, 26, and 8 over 3 seasons. That's pretty good.
Bit of a down year last year.
Yep, under 900 on the save percentage.
Yeah, 895 and a 3.13 goals against.
But he was still 27, 9, and 5. The kid's a winner.
Year before that, though, 2.33 goals against in 48 appearances, and at the end of that year, he was indeed selected the OHL Netminder of the Year in 2023.
Only one is a 7th round draft pick. It just shows goalies are so hard to draft. Generally, teams don't want to. They really don't want to risk a high round draft pick, unlike the Wings on Kosa.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Yep.
Although we had the 3 first rounders in the Central Division last year. Remember, Lou?
Yep.
We had the Skarhoff in Milwaukee. We had a young kid in Iowa. As the play right now down in the Grand Rapids zone left wing. Here's Kevin Conley cutting in. A shot hit the outside of the net. Played away by the Griffins, and on the move, Austin Watson left to right with a pass on the left wing to Soderblom behind him, and that puts the Griffins offside on the play.
You know,
Yes.
last night, Bob, as we said, Griffins only had 19 shots. 9 of those shots only came from 3 players. That's it. You want to take a guess on the 3 players?
Soderblom.
Yes, Soderblom had 3.
Who else would have been in there? Danielson, maybe?
No. Cross Hannes.
Yeah,
And are you ready for this? Antti Tuomisto had 3. Those were the only 3 shots by defense the entire game. Can you imagine? I mean, we stated, 7 defensemen last night, right?
Yeah.
6 of them didn't have a shot on net.
Yeah, they're going 11-7 here tonight. Now, big hit along the far boards. Conley's had a rough go of it here in this opening period, as this time he gets knocked down by Elmer Soderblom as play continues along. There's the Griffins without Carter Mazer. Our injury report brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield and the Blue Care Network of Michigan as we get an icing call against Grand Rapids. A minute 19 to go in this first period. Of course, Carter Mazer on the injury list after the open ice hit at center last night by Mark Lewinsky, who was out of the lineup for Manitoba tonight. And upper body injury for Carter Mazer, still not being told the status of that. That's a big loss, and you add to that, of course, the recall of Marco Kasper, who played well for the Red Wings in their big win today at Nashville.
In fact, Marco Kasper took the game-opening faceoff. He started that game at center.
Wound up with an assist. And a +2 in the plus-minus category. Now the Griffins lift the puck out of play, and that's going to be a minor penalty and put the Moose with 56.4 seconds to go in this opening period on the power play for the second time.
Edvinsson had a goal today in that game. Kasper with an assist. Jonathan Berggren with an assist. So
that's a big win for him, but boy, I'll tell you, Nashville.
0-5.
And it's, they were one of the talks of the National Hockey, the world of the National Hockey League during the summertime, Lou, with some of the moves they made.
Steven Stamkos, right?
Stamkos, among others. I mean, they were already a good team heading in and bolstered that lineup with some pretty good transactions, and yet 0-5, 2 losses to the Red Wings.
Yeah, that game ended up 5-2 for the Wings. It was much closer than that. There were 2 empty netters.
Alex Lyon terrific today with 37 saves as Detroit now 2-3 and Nashville 0-5. Puck dumped down the ice by the Griffins. A half minute to go now in this opening period. Drew McIntyre in the house. He's an assistant coach, goaltender coach for the Manitoba Moose, former Griffin goaltender, one of my favorites.
Yes.
He'll be joining us during intermission number 1, by the way. Talk about his career that took him to a whole bunch of different places. Very interesting story. Drew McIntyre. Now 11 seconds left in the period. Here's Chibrikov, and across the Grand Rapids line. Stood up. Good play by Didier, allowing Vero to play the puck, or drives, that is, shoot it all the way down, and that'll do it for the first period. So nobody scoring a goal. 14 shots combined, 8 for the Griffins and 6 for Manitoba. We are 0-0 at the end of 1 here at Van Andel Arena. Stand by. We'll come back with a summary of what happened in that opening period. Joining you late, and our apologies to those of you on FloHockey. We dealing with our radio broadcast.
Whirlwind for chills, thrills, and fantastic prizes. It's Wicked Wheel winnings at Gun Lake Casino. Saturdays in October from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 3 ghoulish guests every hour. Spin the wheel and conjure up to $20,000 cash. Wicked Wheel winnings. Only at Gun Lake Casino. Come to play.
The insurance and financial services landscape is built on many choices, regulations, and challenges. It's time to bring the pieces of the puzzle together, a push back to one. A single team of fierce advocates who pull insurance, financial services, and HR consulting into a simple solution. One team, one strategy, one purpose, one digital. See what the power of one can do for you.
fair in 3, 2, and 1. Where you at on things there, Shelby? Oh, they're still there? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I was going to say we'll probably be started the second period here. There's 16:40 on the clock right now. We're in first intermission, so.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
What's the plan for this intermission?
We will you and I will just talk about the period a little bit. I'm going to ask you about all your travels this summer, because that'll lead well into Drew McIntyre, who's traveled the world.
Yep.
And then McIntyre's interview is about 6.5 minutes. If you want to take off, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, but when you're doing him, right?
Yep.
Got it.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Welcome back to the home of the two-time Calder Cup champion Grand Rapids Griffins. You're looking at the stats, Lou, and always fun when you start a new season, all kinds of new stats. I love the fact that, the history of the Griffins, how many games they have played, which is 2,136 in franchise history, going all the way back to 1996, and now 29th season of operation, 24th in the American Hockey League, 23rd as the primary affiliate of the 11-time Stanley Cup champion Detroit Red Wings. It has been a glorious history here, and certainly would love to add another Calder Cup. By the way, you see the
they changed the banners.
Yeah. Now directly across from us, which I kind of like it, actually.
Yeah.
But what a history.
Well, what I love about here as well is just every year there's something new in the arena, right? There's always an improvement. Of course, the big improvement this year is this center board. It's just fantastic. The video board in the middle. It's almost blue line to blue line, Bob. It's incredible. Yeah.
That's the standard now. When you get these new video boards, everybody asks, in hockey terms anyway, is it blue line to blue line? There's not too many of them quite that big, but this one is it's probably about 6 feet, maybe inside of each blue line. So it's pretty good size. Just about perfect, I think, for the 10,800-seat Van Andel.
Yeah, I saw a Red Wing game down in Tampa, and they've got one that's blue line to blue line. I'll tell you what the challenge is. That you end up watching the board, not the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I found in that arena was it was like I was watching TV. I wasn't even really looking at the ice. So I think this is the right size. But it's just, a couple years ago, you remember the lights around the middle. That was cool. And then the board at the end that they put. I just think the improvements is wonderful.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, you had the original video board, which was more of a light bright than it was anything else, right? So, but the other thing you got to factor in, and you can see it from here, is you got to be able to fit that thing up into through the beams, and to get it all the way up to the very top of the ceiling for other events here.
For concerts and things like that.
Yeah, so they couldn't really make it a whole lot wider than what it already is, maybe another foot or two, but they wanted to be on the safe side.
And to your point, Bob, that this is a 10,008 arena, 10,000 seats. You know what I mean? I mean, blue line to blue line, that's in a 20,000 seat arena. So proportionally, it's probably bigger in terms of the distance from it, seats and things like that.
Yeah, the next one will be a little bigger, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, scoreless tie at the end of one here. Griffins and Manitoba Moose. Each team had 2 power plays. In fact, the Moose will still have 1 minute and 4 seconds of power play time to begin period number 2. So right now, officially, the Moose are 0 for 1. The Griffins are 0 for 2. Grand Rapids 8-6. The shots in their favor in period 1. And again, not many great chances until they had that one little 3-4 minute stretch there, Lou, where all of a sudden both teams opened it up and generated, at the end of things, some good scoring chances. So we saw a lot of that open ice play last night, but you just couldn't finish any plays and generate those opportunities, whereas tonight, as that period wore along, it seemed like they were finally starting to click on some of those final passes and setting some guys up for some good chances.
Yeah, what's interesting is the AHL, for fans, you can go to the AHL.com and you can get this game, and they will show you where the shots come from. It's really interesting. I just popped it up. Every shot that Manitoba has taken except one came above the circles. Only one was below the circles, and it was right on the goal line. The Griffins, only one shot has been above the circles. In fact, almost every one has been below the hash marks. So much more dangerous chances from the Griffins than the Manitoba Moose.
That's good stuff, and obviously telling you that not only do the Griffins play solid defensively, allowing only 6 shots, but many of them coming from long range, which is even more testament to the Griffins' defense in front of Sebastian Cossa. All right, no score. We'll take a break. When we come back, a visit with former Griffin goaltender Drew McIntyre. He's been around a little bit, as has my broadcast partner Lou Rabeau, who had some nice travels this summer with his beautiful wife Lynn. And you know what it's like to be abroad.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got terrible timing. I mostly retired, and 3 months later, COVID hit. And so we do love to travel, but we lost a good 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
And then we had a trip all set, and Putin decided to invade Ukraine, and we were going to go to 2 countries next to Ukraine, so that killed that trip, right? So we're trying to find places in the world that at the moment aren't blowing up. You know.
Good luck with that, it seems like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of places that seem to be on fire these days, but I know you guys had a great time and picked some pretty.
We did.
Spots.
It was our 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, congrats,
I do want to point out we started dating at 14, and I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
We literally started dating at 14, so we got married very young. But this was our 50th wedding anniversary, and we really took a spectacular trip.
Well, and by that reminds me too, just to acknowledge the tremendous compassion that Lynn and Lou have for a lot of charity in West Michigan, but none more so than the Griffins Youth Foundation. They had a 50th anniversary celebration down at Griff's Ice House and donated a significant sum of money to the foundation. Thank you for that, Lou, and all your years, you and Lynn both, for all your years of amazing commitment to the Youth Foundation. It's where it's at now thanks to the two of you. Simple as that.
Well, I have to tell you, Lynn and I said, who do we want to celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary with? And we said, all the families in the foundation.
Yeah.
And what we ended up doing was renting the arena. And we just said, anybody who's ever been in the foundation is welcome to come. I think we had 500 people come to the party. We fed them all, and they got to skate. And it was wonderful. It was the best way you could celebrate.
Yeah, it was a great event. Great event. Put on by 2 great people. So thanks for that. We'll take a break. Some more from Lou Rabeau, and we'll be, of course, bringing you all the play-by-play of period number 2 coming up in just a bit. Meanwhile, let's settle back and enjoy listening to Drew McIntyre. That comes up in just a moment. This is Griffins hockey after a scoreless first period between the Griffins and the Moose, and it's coming your way live on Wood Radio and FloHockey. Well, the old line from what movie was that? Will Ferrell, who didn't know what to do with his hands. Last night, Drew McIntyre comes back to Grand Rapids, gets honored by the Griffins, and gets spotlighted, put up on the big screen, and didn't know what to do with his hands, apparently, as he tells me.
Yeah, Tailgate at Nights, is that what it's called? Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, the camera stayed on me, so I'm not used to that. I don't go to... Surprisingly, I don't go to rinks and they honor me, so pretty cool. Amazing organization, so I'm not surprised.
Given what you did for a living, a goaltender didn't know what to do with his hands. That's an alarming thing to hear.
Maybe that's why I bounce around so much.
Well, it's so good to see you, and so good to know that you're settled in Winnipeg now, and hopefully for long time to come, unless you have other plans, of course.
Yeah, no, we, when I retired, I talked to a few teams, but when Winnipeg called, it was clear that was the one I wanted to work for. Yeah. I really enjoyed I was only there for 2 years. It was right after my time in Grand Rapids, but it was 2 special years, and it's just, so cool how in my interview, it was my old goalie coach, my old GM, and the goalie coach of the Jets, Wade Flaherty, was my goalie partner. Yeah, so yeah. It was pretty cool. 3 out of the 4 people in my interview were, all my old people. So, and all the people are still the same from when I played there. All the Moose people moved up to Jets people. And so it's a pretty loyal organization. And, I kind of took that job thinking, hopefully, my years of bouncing all over the place, I don't have to do that too much anymore to my family, but who knows? The hockey world is, you don't get too comfortable.
No kidding, sports world for that matter. But, you look at your career, Drew, and it's so solid. Even though you played in a whole bunch of different places, you did bounce around. I guess you can look back on it and say, hey, my numbers were great, and I got to experience a whole lot of really cool things in all different parts of the world.
For sure. I'm beyond grateful. Some people they always like to ask me the questions, almost like do you look at it in like a bitter sense? Like, that's couldn't be further from the truth. I feel like I could have played in the NHL full time for sure, but it didn't happen. And I don't regret that. I don't look back with any kind of regret or anything. Complete gratefulness. And I got to play in some awesome places. And then, when I was done of North America, I kind of bounced around all over the world, but it was really cool experiences for not only me, but my family.
Small sample size or not, you can boast of the fact, and I know you don't do that because you're not that kind of person, but we can boast of the fact you got a career 2.4 goals against in the National Hockey League in 6 games, and you also still to this day have the best goals against average in the history of Griffins hockey in the postseason at 1.62. That's not too bad.
Yeah, small sample sizes. I guess that's that was what I was an expert at, was small sample sizes. So I mean, like I said, I'm grateful. Didn't get enough too much time in the NHL, but grateful for what I did get.
I know I've asked you this before, but when you consider what you did at the minor pro level and overseas, and in those 6 games in the National Hockey League, it's almost kind of, it's got to be a little frustrating, but to all of us, it's kind of bizarre that you didn't get more of an opportunity in the NHL.
Well, I mean, after a while, every year when I was a free agent, I just hear constantly the same thing over and over again was, well, he doesn't have NHL experience. And that was the one that was really lighting a fire on me, because I said, well, how am I going to get NHL experience if nobody will give it to me, So that was my knock, no NHL experience. So I guess when I hear that phrase now that I'm coaching, I give the guy a chance, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I know I got my game to the NHL level. I know that. I ended up after a while being kind of pegged as that number 3 guy organizationally, and I think that's a very important role, and I think I was very good at it. But that also comes with there's no stability in that job, because there's always a draft pick coming. There's always a top round pick coming that they want me to play with for a year, maybe 2, but then that guy needs to take over. So that was the frustrating part. Was just I played in such amazing organizations, I kind of just wanted to stay there.
Just scored! Number 7 line!
telling me that the fans weren't happy with you in Toronto and the other stops around your pro hockey tour. Like you say, the innocence of kids, they don't know any better, right?
No, they'd see me rattled after a game and give me a big hug, and I'd quickly be like, all right, it's not that bad.
Speaking of big hugs, I'm going to give him one right now. Great to see you, Drew. Great to have you back in town.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's an awesome organization, awesome city, and awesome people. I love coming back.
Drew McIntyre chatting with us during intermission number 1 as we return you live to Van Andel Arena. Bob Kaiser and Lou Rabeau on the call for you tonight. Great to have you along with us. The two teams are back on the ice, and Lou Rabeau is, in fact, back in the booth. And I love, off the air, talking to Lou about some of his trips, and got quite the schedule for next year, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We'll
what's been
I
your
think
favorite
we'll be
place?
out of the country 2 months next year.
Yeah.
Not in a row.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Enjoying retirement, taking advantage of retirement.
Well, and that's it. And I would just tell people, I'll be 69 in January. I would just tell people, so many people think about getting to retirement, and they only think it's about, did I save enough money?
Yeah.
The other big piece is, are you able to enjoy your time? And do you have a plan for your time? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
You better have a plan for your time. Otherwise, you get up in the morning, sit in front of TV, and the next thing you know, it's dinner time, you go to bed. That's not a great retirement.
Retirement plans brought to you by Lou Rabeau.
There you go.
Warden Norcross.
There you go, man. Yep, plan for it.
You guys have earned it, Lou, that's for sure. All right. Good to have Lou back in the booth as well. Larry Figursky the night off. Lou Rabeau steps in. He's done this a time or two, and we've certainly enjoyed, Lou and I, a long, long stint together. As I've said many a time, blessed to work Griffins hockey, and that always enhanced with having two guys like Larry and Lou that bring a lot to the table and certainly make these broadcasts even more fun than they already are. As we're underway, we mentioned the Manitoba Moose with the power play to begin the second period. They're in the midst of their second opportunity, which after the Griffins shoot the puck into the Manitoba bench across the way on the face-off to begin the period. That'll 8 seconds in, put a draw to the right side of Sebastian Kosa, who's down in the goal to our right now in the second period, while at the other end, Dominic DiVincentis. He really good in that first period, made some big stops, and he's in the goal to our left. Parker Ford in on the face-off with, who is that? That's Sheldon Drives. Want to welcome our audience on Wood Radio about Kaiser Lou Rabeau here at Van Andel Arena. We've been carrying the game on the AHL network, FloHockey, as we are bringing you Griffins hockey from the Van Andel Arena for the second straight night against the Manitoba Moose. And we have just begun period number 2, and welcome all of you on our 29-year flagship station for Griffins hockey, Wood Radio, after a Michigan Wolverines lost today in Illinois 21-7. Hopefully we can salvage the day and get a Griffins victory in Grand Rapids, and the Moose are scoreless right now. The Moose at work on a power play. Down in that Griffin zone to our right, they dig the puck free and have it behind the Griffin net. Near side, Parker Ford. Ford will drop it off. Brad Lambert played it back to the line. Now they work into the high slot and fire a shot, and that one ripped wide. And the rebound gobbled up by Shine. He busts up ice with Dreisen across the line. Soderblom out of the penalty box takes a drop pass and feeds it down behind the Moose net. Manitoba throws it off to the near side. Nobody there. Now doesn't matter because the play is stopped. The net knocked free behind Dominic DiVincentis, the Manitoba goaltender, here tonight with 1 minute and 14 seconds gone in period number 2. It's a scoreless game, as mentioned, between the Griffins and the Moose.
And both teams are 0 for, Bob, on their power plays. Yeah. Griffins are 0 for 2, and Manitoba's 0 for 2.
And they were the
it's
same
so early in
last
the
night.
season. It's so early in the season. Tough to. I mean, that's all about timing. And plus, you lose Marco Kasper, right? And that's a big piece of your power play.
And Carter Mazer.
Carter Mazer, big part of your power play.
Now, if you're just joining us, which of course those of you on Wood Radio are, the Griffins without Mazer, injury keeps him on the sidelines tonight. Injured halfway into the game last night against the Moose. And Marco Kasper on recall. made his season debut with the Red Wings today in Nashville in their 5-2 win. Lou and I were summing it up. And we'll just tell you that Marco Kasper, if you didn't get a chance to see it or hear about it, he was really good. Brought some energy to that lineup, which, boy, a lot of the players were quoted as talking about how Kasper will bring just that, and it's something they really need, and he did. He delivered. Lou, he picked up an assist, was a +2, and Detroit, the end result, a 5-2 win in Nashville, handing the Predators their 5th loss in 5 games to start the season. The Red Wings improving to 2-3 as play here stopped. The puck dumped into the Grand Rapids zone, gloved and held on to by Sebastian Kosa.
You know, you look at Kasper's an Austrian, and you wonder, gee, why do they go overseas to find players? But you look at that team, and you just see a lot of good European players. On this team, Manitoba has 2 Finns, 4 Swedes, 2 Russians, a Belarusian. Grand Rapids has somebody from Czechia, that's the old Czech Republic, 3 Swedes, 3 Finns. I mean, this is a sport that looks around the world for talent. You know, the 2 big signings this year by the Red Wings, right? A German and a Swede.
I was talking to Jakub Rychlowski today about that whole Czech Republic thing, Lou, and I always thought the proper reference was Czechia. He said, no, it's still the Czech Republic.
Still the Czech Republic. No.
At least back home, and he hears that it's not that it's wrong to say Czechia, but I said, you know what, Czech Republic, I just think it sounds a lot better. So
well,
he said, go with it.
Yeah, it used to be Czechoslovakia.
Right, yeah.
And the breakup was called the Velvet Revolution. And when they settled on dividing the countries, it was called the Velvet Divorce.
You know, that's been since '93.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Well, that's because we're getting old.
Now play down in the Manitoba zone, a shot from the right wing circle, and the goaltender DiVincentis had to fight that one off. Unfortunately, the puck was underneath them.
Best thing about being a season ticket member, all of the experiences that you wouldn't get to have otherwise. It's getting to be around the team, it's the autograph session, events that they hold outside of the games, getting to watch the away games, so you see everything, and you follow the players from beginning to end of the season.
Soft down to the left to DiVincentis. Czechoslovakia. Power in hockey for a long time.
They were a power in hockey.
Yeah.
They absolutely were.
And you know what? Still are. I mean, Czech Republic, even though it's now Czech Republic and Slovakia, both countries always well represented in the hockey thing, the hockey scheme of things. Now, puck again dumped into the Griffins' end, gloved down and held onto by Kosa.
Well, and there's a great lesson in that, Bob, for how we do youth hockey in North America. You know, you look at Finland, and you know, I just gave you the numbers, how many Finns are skating tonight. That's a country with 5 million people. Sweden only has 10 million people. I mean, the state of Michigan has 10 million people, right? So how are they producing so many good players? And it's really how they approach youth sports.
Yeah, the Czech Republic is... or Czechia, as we refer to it here.
Ooh, close shot there.
Is what, 2 hours from west to east coast?
Oh, yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's a real
These are
small
tiny
country.
countries, yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially about the same size as Michigan.
We actually, years ago, my wife and I saw the World Hockey Championships in Prague. We went there just to see the World Hockey Championships.
I'd love to see Prague.
And we watched the U.S. beat the Czech Republic in the quarterfinals. Oh my gosh, you talk about. And little Andy Fry, who had played at Ferris State, couldn't play in the NHL, couldn't make it in the NHL, scored 2 goals in the shootout.
Griffins steal the puck and they walk in with a shot. Score! Amadeus Lombardi and a rebound. And the Griffins draw first blood. There was a delayed penalty coming up. What a good job by the Griffins. Relentless attack along the right wing boards. They saw the defender in trouble, trying to find the puck, and the Griffins pounced on him, knocked it free, and then they walked right out in front of the net. The backhand shot initially by Shine, and then the rebound mopped up by Lombardi at 4:05, and Grand Rapids has got a 1-0 lead.
It's a great lesson on why you go to the net. Both players went to the net. Shine took it. The Manitoba goaltender was able to make the save, but because Lombardi had also gone to the net, he swallowed up their rebound and just buried it.
Good effort. And the result is the game's first goal at 4:05 of the second period. It was right around this time in which the Griffins broke the scoreless tie last night. A little later, just past the halfway point of the second period last night, when the Griffins scored the only goal, Joe Snively, in a 1-0 victory. Now the play down inside the Grand Rapids line where Lombardi, the goal scorer, had it knocked away, but a good recovery as it's poked free up the middle and down to the Manitoba zone by defenseman William Laugesen. Lombardi from Shine. Now here comes Soderblom on right wing. Pulls up, good pass. Vero right in with a shot, and a good save there by the goaltender DiVincentis, who has lost his mask. And that will, of course, automatically stop the play.
You know, there's just great example of Soderblom's potential. I mean, that's a rink-wide pass from a 6'8" I forget what he weighs, 248 pounds or something like that. And that was tape to tape, just beautiful. The guy's got just tremendous hands.
Soderblom listed at 248, Lou, and I think he is every bit of that.
He's 32 pounds heavier than the heaviest player on Manitoba, who is Daniel Torgerson, another Swede. There's got to be something in the meatballs. That's all I can say. There's just got to be something in those meatballs.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to think that he's got to get back to the National Hockey League, Lou. He's got NHL skills.
He's just got to start playing that size.
Yeah,
though.
and he's got to play consistent.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to play consistent. He's got to play to that size.
Play hard like he did last night. Throwing the body around, that gets him jumping a little bit more. He skates well for a big, big guy. And he's got the great hands, and there he is there, reaching in, poking the puck away. Turning it over are the Moose because of Soderblom, and the Griffins will have it. Vero from the point has shot that one deflected by Soderblom, knocked down. Rebound from the point there, and Rafferty let that one go wide. Here's Watson with a chance, and getting a piece of that is DiVincentis, and deflecting it out of play. It's all Griffins all of a sudden. They've got the lead and looking to add to it.
Well, this is, I think, a heavier Griffin team size-wise than I can remember for a few years, Bob. Would you agree? Just given Soderblom and what? I mean, there's some Johannes. I mean, there's just some big guys on this team.
You have to do the numbers on that, Lou, and I can't disagree with you. I'm not sure overall if that's the case, but I
just feel like they're just a heavy team.
Well, and you add, like you said, a Johannes.
Yeah.
Now the puck deflecting up out of play as we'll get a halt in the action. And draw coming up in the neutral zone. You put Soderblom in at that weight of 248, and also I want to look up how many players in pro hockey, specifically the NHL and the American League, are over 250.
Yeah, right.
There are very few, I can tell you that. So he would be one of the biggest players in pro hockey. And again, like Lou mentioned, not just in height, but he's a heavy body. And again, you start thinking of him throwing that weight around. He can be a awfully intimidating force bearing down on the defenseman. Now here's a centering attempt by the Griffins, deflecting right in on goal, and a save made by DiVincentis. And now Griffins going hard to that goal crease, which they have certainly done here to begin this second period. And the Moose getting a little impatient with the Griffins in their attempts to get in tight and add to this lead. It is 1-0 Grand Rapids as they stop the play below and will break with 13:34 to go. In the second period, it's 1-0 on the strength of Amadeus Lombardi's first of the season. You're listening live to Griffins Hockey live from Van Andel Arena. Okay. Fellow Wings Report brought to you by
Let's play some hockey!
3, winning 5-2. As we mentioned, a couple of empty net goals in the end. One of them from Simon Edvinsson. Marco Kasper made his season debut on recall from the Griffins with an assist and a +2. Jonathan Bergen with a point in the game now. The Wings picking up a victory, and they needed it, no doubt. As play down and behind the Griffin goaltender. Boy, that puck deflected in behind Kosa and off the post. I thought maybe it hit the inside bar there, but there is no inside bar anymore. As the puck came back to the high slot, Moose now applying a little pressure. Here's a centering pass and sticking out the left skate. Was Kosa to knock that away, but Manitoba has the puck again. Long shot from the line. That's deflected aside. They're going to walk right into the circle and shoot right on. And a good stop there by Kosa. He'll hold on to it. And we'll get a face-off to the right of the Grand Rapids net with 12:41 to play in the second period. And the Griffins on top 1-0. And that's the best thrust so far in this second period by the visiting Manitoba Moose.
Yeah, in fact, before that flurry, and it was a good flurry for Manitoba, they had only 3 shots in this period, Bob, and not one of them was below the hash marks. The Griffins, on the other hand, have had 6 shots, all of them below the hash mark. So the Griffins, much more dangerous than the first part of this period, but boy, Manitoba really brought it that last 2-3 minutes.
Kosa will look at a draw to his right. 14-11, the shots favoring Grand Rapids in this one. And just the one goal, and now Moose with it off the draw. Shot from the left wing boards, went deflecting wide. Soderblom battling for the puck. Knocked up into the air. He'll turn and drop it back for Rafferty. Rafferty around for Vero. Trying to sweep one ahead to Watson. Didn't get much on it. Now Vero stays right with it. Now tapped it for Rafferty. Sends it up the near glass. It'll be played by Soderblom. And he'll turn and clear the puck to center where the Moose gather it back in and send it onto Griffin's ice. Here's Vero, near corner. Spins away from the forecheck of Janssen Fialbi. Sends Soderblom up ice. Now rink wide to Watson. Good pass into the middle for Danielson, but a good defensive play by Bartow to step in and knock the puck away. And the Moose with it now, moving it ahead to center ice, where Ben King will gather it in, dump it into the Griffins' end.
Little pickpocket there.
Tumisto had it taken away. They fire a shot right on. Rebound goes rolling in behind the Griffin net. And picked up by Cross Hannes, where the stick knocked out of his hands, hits center ice, and just kicks the puck down to the Manitoba zone. Here's Soderblom up with it. He tried to venture out in front, denied though.
Soderblom's got to get off. He's been out there for a long time.
Here's Hannes again. Good hard forecheck. Good shift so far for Hannes, and now out of nowhere, Toninato comes over and knocks Hannes down as the play has been halted. 11:14 to go here in period number 2.
So here's the question, Bob. How many goaltenders does a professional hockey system need? Because last count, we got 8 of them, right? You got up at the wings, you got Alex Lyon, Cam Talbot. With Grand Rapids, we're carrying 4 goaltenders, right? Malcolm Subban, of course, Sebastian Costa tonight, Billy Husso last night, Gage Alexander, and 2 more down in Toledo, Jan Bednar and Carter Gylander. I don't know how some of these guys are going to get any play time.
They won't.
Yeah, that's right.
Unfortunately, but here's a puck deflecting out of play again. 11:05 left in this second period, and yeah, it's funny how things take different turns when it comes to rosters in the NHL and their American League affiliates. And for the longest time, everybody, at least in Wings Nation, talking about the lack of goaltending depth, and now all of a sudden you've got, and you're talking about those 8 players, only one of them, Sebastian Cossa, is on that list of being the real high-end prospect. Not to say that the others are not prospects, but between him and the kid in East Lansing,
right,
Lou, you got, boy, you got to think that the Wings are in good shape down the road with the goaltending. But in the meantime, all of a sudden, you got Malcolm Subban, who signed as a free agent. He's got a lot of NHL experience behind him.
Yeah. No, I think he's on a PTO. Is he on a PTO? Yeah. Professional trial. Well, here's the height of these goalies: 6'1", 6'4", 6'2", 6'7", 6'3", 6'6", 6'4", and 6'4". Guess who the shortest one is?
Well, Husso looks like the shortest, but he's not.
No, it's the guy who won for the Wings today. Alex Lyon.
Yeah,
he's
Lyon.
6'1".
Yeah.
Right? It's just interesting to me.
Griffins, by the way, on a power play, a minor penalty called against the Moose. So a third chance now for Grand Rapids. DTE Energy power play. You'd love to get one here for a lot of reasons.
Here we go.
Here's Shine. Oh, boy. Awfully close to holding that puck in, but it came out. It's an offside call against Grand Rapids. Minute 36 to go in the power play.
I always remind myself the linesman closer to the puck than I am, so. But that was close. Yeah, I mean, it's the search of, and I haven't looked at the Michigan State goalie's statistics. Yeah, I haven't looked him up. I'll do that between periods, see how he's doing this year. But he's another big body, right?
Yeah, and they're really excited about him.
Yep.
So the two primary prospects, goalies of the future, Trey Augustine and Sebastian Kosa, and both still just, 21, 20 years old, 19.
Yeah, right.
Augustine thinks only 19.
Yeah.
Here's Snively with a puck on left wing. He'll dump it in behind the Moose net, wrapped around the boards by the goaltender, held in. Good play by Valinder. And the Griffins now will send it all the way around to the near side. Snively picks it up, tried to drop it off to Dries. That got blocked, but Snively up with it again now. Plays the puck to Shine back to the line, but it deflected away from an off-balance William Valinder, and Griffins will have to clear the zone as Valinder backing up in front of his own net now with the puck. Feeds it up the middle. Here's Snively backing across that line. Laid it on left wing to Danielson, knocked away, but a clearing attempt by the Moose, held in. Griffins have got the puck on the near boards. Manitoba's zone to our left, trying to set up now in the power play, which has a half a minute to run. Here's a one-timer right on. That one blasted by Shai Bouillon through traffic on goal, and a save made there by DiVincentis, who holds on for the whistle.
Good to see a shot from the point. You know, Heidi, I'm sitting here thinking the Wings only have 3 true centermen in their lineup tonight, which really makes it difficult on your power play to put 2 centermen out there.
Griffins right now with Lombardi, Riklowski, and Watson up front. And Grand Rapids winning the draw. Quick one-timer. That one ripped just wide by Soderblom. There's again that quick release he's got too, Lou. Not only does he shoot the puck well, he's got those great hands. He is, for a big man, he's got amazing quickness. 8 seconds to go in the power play as the puck shot down the ice, and on the move Lombardi with it, but the Griffins meet resistance along the Manitoba line, and the Moose stand him up and shoot it back down the ice, and that'll do it. So the Griffins 0 for 3 on the power play. Meanwhile, here's Soderblom back in. Soderblom on left wing, chased by Dawson Barteau, and the Moose are going to take that puck away and march back up ice. They'll feed it down behind the Grand Rapids net. Played by Manitoba. Left wing corner now. They'll lay it back to the point. Dawson Barteau, long shot blocked. We got a penalty coming up to Grand Rapids here in the delayed call. Turning with it along the left wing boards, Mason Shaw, and they'll dump it in, and Griffins will pick it up. And now the Moose will have a third power play chance of their own. It is 1-0 in favor of Grand Rapids. 8 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the second period. American Hockey League action tonight from Van Andel Arena, downtown Grand Rapids. More in just a moment on Wood Radio and FloHockey. Now Sebastian Costa now will watch the visiting Manitoba Moose go to work on a power play out in front of him. Billy Husso, the backup tonight. Billy Husso, of course, 22 saves last night and blanking the Moose. Billy Husso, by the way, has played 2 games in a Griffin uniform. And the end result, the same. Shutouts. Remember back in January of 2024, during the 23-24 campaign, he was sent down. And he made 25 saves in a win over Belleville. 3-0 win, and then last night, so he's played 2 games in this building, Lou, and hasn't given up a goal as the puck rolling into the Griffins' end down below us and covered by Kosa. Minute 38 to go, and the third power play chance for Manitoba.
Do I remember the first time he came down? That was an injury. He was right?
Rehabbing, yeah.
Rehabbing an injury, which is typically how you see those guys.
And then he was, I think if I was not mistaken, the next night he was supposed to start again, and then right before the game we heard he was not going to play. And come to find out he was, again, not healthy and eventually got back in the lineup in Detroit. First game back in Edmonton, got injured in the opening period. Tough season last year for Billy Husso. Now here's Austin Watson stealing the puck at center and carrying it down to the Manitoba zone. Took it in behind the net with 3 Moose right on him. He's got it pinned along the boards, and they'll finally knock it free. Good effort there by the veteran Austin Watson. 56 now left in the Manitoba power play as they wander into the Grand Rapids zone. Another penalty coming up, and it's going to go to Grand Rapids. Emil Viro, and the Moose are going to have a 2-man advantage for the next 52 seconds.
Well, this will be a challenge.
So, 5-on-3. Time of this penalty coming at 12:51. So, great chance here for Manitoba to draw even in the hockey game. Now we're going to get a timeout. And the Moose don't want to let this chance slip away, so they're going to take their time and discuss some strategy and call their timeout, which you don't see very often.
No, you really don't see that very often, but I get it. They've had such struggles scoring against the Griffins last night, tonight. You know, this is going to be a big chance to do it. We were talking about Trey Augustine, and he's played 4 games, and so far he is 931 save percentage and a 2.0 goals against. Last season, 2.96 goals against and a 915 save percentage. So, second round draft pick. He's not a big guy though. He's 6'1" and 183 pounds, but he's only 19 years old.
Just a baby.
Yep.
Big
Boy, that
face-off
face-off was big. That's really big when you're down 2 players.
Griffins win the draw, and good job there by Sheldon Dries. They're able to shoot the puck down. That'll cost the Moose about a dozen seconds as they work it now and across the Griffin line with 33 left in a 5-on-3 power play. Griffins lead the hockey game 1-0. Now Manitoba with it. Chibrikov, he's dangerous. Gives it down low. Now takes a return feed from Toninato to Chibrikov. Far circle. It's played by Brad Lambert. He's going to walk into that far circle. Now dropped it back to Chibrikov on a drive, and getting a piece of that was Kosa. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Chibrikov right back in front again. Now backing up, chased by Didier. He'll drop the puck off. They're going to walk back into the circle with a shot off a leg. 1 penalty over as Rafferty hustling back into the play. The Moose right in front of the net with a shot and a save and a rebound. Picked up by Rafferty. Backhanding it up the boards and out to center ice it'll go. 57 to go now in the Moose power play. It's a 5-on-4 advantage with 6 minutes to play in the second period. 1-0 Grand Rapids. Here's Lambert back in. Now Brad Lambert, who played his junior hockey with the Seattle Thunderbirds of the Western League. He's got it, dropped it to the right point to Bartow, and a pass out in front intended for C.J. Cease, didn't get to him. Puck poked around behind the net, picked up by Dries. He rattled it up the near side, but not out. Bartow holds it in. Now a pass near side for Cease. He was bumped off the puck, and the Griffins have it and lift it down the ice with 16 seconds remaining now in that second penalty to Emil Viro. Moose will dump it back in. Puck deflected in behind the net. The Griffins pick it up. They're going to roll it to the line. Now play it, and up the ice goes Watson. Across the line, short-handed. He put it right in front. Oh, and a chance for Shine. He chipped it over top of the goal of the crossbar. Now they get it back in front again, but Manitoba breaks up the play. As the penalty is over, the Griffins have killed off all 4 Manitoba power plays, including a 2-man advantage for 55 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on the end of this game and how big of a kill that was for the Griffins.
Puck now dumped down to the Grand Rapids zone. Griffins in control of it up the left wing. Valinder rubbed out of the play. And the Moose in control. Pass on right wing, tipped into the Grand Rapids zone. Rafferty to go back and get it. Chipped it off the glass, picked up on the move Soderblom. Wide right he goes. Soderblom had it poke checked away by Ashton Sautner. And the puck is back along the Griffin line. It's played by Shai Bouillon. Bouillon took a big hit from Tyson Empey as he shot it back to the Manitoba zone. Moose lifting it up the near boards. It's broken up not once but twice by Shai Bouillon, who got the puck for Lombardi. And he rolls it down into the Manitoba zone where it's played behind his own net by Dylan Anhorn. University of Denver product, was a teammate, in fact, of Shai Bouillon, winning a national title. A couple of them, actually. Now, here come the Moose back the other way. They'll flip the puck in, and speaking of Denver Pioneer, Monty Tuomisto, also a champion. Boy, powerhouse that University of Denver program has been for a long time now. Griffins steer the puck in, is played by Lombardi in traffic. Lombardi will steer it around to the right point, waiting for it there. Cross Hannes sidesteps a hit. Now Hannes makes a good play, got the puck to Lombardi cruising in. He goes for a spin, dropped it back to the point. A shot of that one off the crossbar. Oh boy, Tuomisto can shoot that thing.
Boy, and what a rocket.
Yes, he let that one go. A missile from the point area. And off the crossbar it went. Now the puck back in the Griffins' end where Hannes got knocked down. Moose feed it across and fire, and that one hit the goalpost. Actually, Kosa might have gotten a piece of it. Now the Moose with it once more and a shot, and Kosa gobbles that up in the midsection and holds on for the whistle with 2:38 to play in the second period. Boy, the action has intensified in this middle frame. It's been a good one. 1-0. Grand Rapids, the only goal. Amadeus Lombardi at 4:05 in the second period. We'll take a break and continue with more Griffins hockey in just a moment on Wood Radio and FloHockey. quickly halted after the puck deflecting off the glass up into the seats down below.
Both goaltenders been very good tonight, Bob.
Yeah, they have, and
they really are.
Pretty fortunate here in the last minute or so. With,
yeah, a couple of posts.
Yeah, posted both ends.
Yep.
Kosa peering through that cage, watching Dries on a draw with Lambert. Winds up all the way back in the Manitoba zone where the Moose will retrieve it. Dylan Anhorn now will drop it off. Lambert met by Shine. Steps around him, feeds the puck in the right wing boards. Parker Ford caught up to it in a sharp angle shot. That one found its way in on net. Stopped by Kosa, picked up now by Joe Snively, and he'll launch it into the Manitoba zone to our left. Snively, good play to dig in there and knock the puck away from the Moose and center it, but taken aside, and here come the Moose now back the other way. Is a little give and go. Toninato chopped the puck to the Griffins goal mouth. That'll be knocked down and covered by Sebastian Kosa.
Shots, I think actually now favor Manitoba this period, 9-8 for the game. Griffins are up in shots 16-15. This game's gonna have more shots than we saw last night, Bob. Last night was, what was it, 20-19 or 22-19? Something like that.
Yep, 22-19 favoring the Moose.
The Moose do not put up a lot of shots so far this season per game.
Well, they were 2-0 coming into last night's game. Of course,
swept Iowa,
them
right?
out. Yeah,
swept Iowa.
Went into Des Moines and won. They have not yet played a home game. They'll do that next weekend.
Yeah, I don't think Iowa's won yet, if I remember right.
Iowa currently 0-2. Those two losses to the Moose. But like we said, opening couple of weeks of the campaign now. Manitoba knocking down a pass. They got a 2-on-1 suddenly. Here's a shot. Good save again by Sebastian Kosa on that attempt from Danny Zhilkin. As they got the puck pinned along the end boards. Now dug free by Belinder. Austin Watson will play it. Nifty pass at the left wing to Hunter Johannes. Across that line. Bumped along the boards. Fights off the check and centered one. Nielsen put a stick on it. It wound up in the right wing corner. And Manitoba now will play it back up ice they go with 1 minute and 10 seconds now to play in this second period. 1-0 Griffins on top. Moose peeling off on a line change after dumping the puck behind the Grand Rapids net. Played by the former Toronto Maple Leaf William Lagesson, who sends it all the way down. That one right on goal and covered by the netminder DiVincentis.
So just under a minute to play here. Face off down in the Manitoba zone. 56.5 seconds to go.
3 finals in the NHL today so far, Lou, and of course one of them, the Red Wings, winning 5-2 down in Nashville this afternoon. Dallas beat Edmonton 4-1. Ottawa over Tampa Bay 5-4, the final in that one. Lots of games in progress. Washington up 5-3 at New Jersey at the end of 2. Also through 2, the Islanders in Montreal are tied 2-2. Vancouver's got a 3-0 lead at Vancouver right now as they play midway in that hockey game. Minnesota up 1-0 at Columbus. St. Louis leads Carolina 3-1 late in period number 2. While Buffalo has jumped out to a 2-0 advantage in Chicago late in period number 1.
Need a little bit of a cosmetic surgeon out here. I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think they got a problem with the ice here.
There's a big chunk of it out.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to add this 56 seconds to the next period here. Yep, that's what they're going to do. All right.
Certainly appears that way as Austin Watson coming over to take a closer look, but it's right between the red line and blue line off to our left-hand side. So there's a big chunk that came out near the face-off dot there, and obviously is going to take more than just a minute or so to repair that. So they will indeed bring our second intermission to us earlier than it would have been otherwise. How much was left? 2 plus?
56.5 seconds.
So yes, they will halt the game for now, send the teams to their locker rooms, and come back and play the remaining seconds of.
Want to make something every home, building, and business in the U.S. depends on? A product you can be proud of. Then Bradford White is looking for you. We manufacture water heaters and heating products that are built to be the best, right here in West Michigan. There's a variety of positions available, and the pay is highly competitive. Get outstanding medical benefits and a 401k company match. Watch your savings grow as you grow your career. Join the team that treats you like family. Bradford White.
Tonight.
But wait, there's more. More! More!
More!
And more.
More. There's always more at Speedway.
Well, full day of sports on Wood Radio, of course, starting with the Michigan Wolverines, unfortunately losing 21-7 at Illinois this afternoon. Good news for the other half of the Michigan college scene, at least as far as the Big Two, Michigan and Michigan State. The Spartans are in action at home tonight, hosting Iowa, and they've got a 12-0 lead on them late in the first half at Spartan Stadium in East Lansing. 12-0, Michigan State over Iowa late in the second quarter. Red Wings winners today 5-2 over the Predators in Nashville. The Griffins here at Van Andel Arena as we come back to this now nearly 30-year-old venue. Would never know it when you walk around here. The building looks great. Doesn't look a whole lot different than it did when it opened up back in 1996. And we've seen a lot of good hockey in this facility for a long, long time, and certainly some more of it tonight after 40 minutes. The Griffins leading the Manitoba Moose by a score of 1-0. That was the final here last night, and that is the score right now through two periods tonight. The only goal of the game, Lou Rabeau, Amadeus Lombardi on an empty play. He and Shine dug in there and knocked the puck away from the Manitoba defender along the boards in the Moose zone, and eventually turned to the net with puck control, and Shine stopped on the initial try. Lombardi, though, on the rebound, able to pop it home, and that goal at 4:05 of this second period, like last night, proving to be the only goal of the hockey game to this point.
Yeah, and it was really a great hockey play by both Amadeus and by Dom, because they both went to the net. It's a great lesson for kids learning the sport. Good things happen when you go to the net. You get rebounds, and that's what happened. Dom Shine took it, and the goaltender made a great save. he left a rebound, and Amadeus was right there to pop it in. I've been impressed with Amadeus' play today.
Yeah, he was great during the Prospects tournament,
Yep.
and you hope that he builds off of that, and it certainly appeared. Last year, Lou, when we talked about this, you evaluate a guy like Lombardi, and by night's end, he was always one of the more noticeable guys because of that skating, the speed, the elusiveness. I mean, he's always dancing and dazzling, but at the end of the day, the points weren't there. He wasn't able to finish plays, but of course, first-year pro at the American Hockey League level, you fully expect him now to, having gotten a lot more comfortable in this league and gotten a little stronger too, and that's obviously a key for him to be a better player this year, and so far I think we're seeing that. Still, though, the end result, you're hoping that he doubles up that point total that he had a year ago, if at least doubles it up, and continues that progression and maintains that status of a prospect for the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, I think the key here is the weight room. There's no question he can skate, he can stick handle, he's got a great hockey sense. It's just going to be, can he build the body strength to survive at the pro level?
And confidence, obviously. That's always goes with it, right?
Right. He's not a big guy.
No.
I mean, really, he's just not a big guy.
Shots right now are 17-16 favoring Grand Rapids. 8-6 for the Griffins in the first period. Moose had the edge in the second at 10-9. So Grand Rapids 17 shots. Dominic DiVincentis has stopped everything but the Lombardi effort. And at the other end, Sebastian Cosa has turned aside all 16 that he has faced. One of the stories of that second period, the penalty kill for Grand Rapids. The Moose had a power play, a couple of them, including a 55-second two-man advantage in which the Griffins denied them on. So Manitoba 0 for 4, Griffins 0 for 3. We got news and weather coming up now from our Wood Radio studios. We'll be back and bring you the third period of play-by-play in just a bit, so stay with us for that. 1-0 Grand Rapids. It's Griffins hockey live from Van Andel Arena tonight on Wood Radio and FloHockey. All righty. Let's see here. Okay. Today, 5-2 over the Predators in Nashville. Lots of other games in the NHL. We'll get you caught up a little bit later on. Of course, the two football teams in action today. Michigan losing 21-7 at Illinois. Michigan State leading Iowa 12-0 at halftime in East Lansing. On this date in Griffins franchise history, brought to you by McDonald's. It was on this date back in 2005. Chris Osgood made 22 saves in his Griffins debut on assignment by the Detroit Red Wings, and Yuri Hudler netted his second career hat trick, helping the Griffins win 6-3 at San Antonio on this date back in 2005, all brought to you by McDonald's. Stay with us. We'll come back. Third period play-by-play coming up next. Griffins with the 1-0 lead thanks to Amadeus Lombardi. And, of course, Sebastian Cosa, who stopped everything he's seen so far. We'll be back. All the action of period 3 is next on Wood Radio. Again at Van Andel Arena, where we're just about set to go. The third period is still working that ice down below. Kaiser alongside Lou Rabot as they, I'll tell you, it could be a little tricky. Lou is...
Yeah, I've seen this before. I saw this overseas, Bob, when they're playing like late spring, and they actually bring out a fire extinguisher, right? Because it's so cold, CO2. I'm a little surprised they didn't deal with this while they were cleaning the ice.
Yeah, and they've not even allowed the teams to come back on the ice just yet, Lou, and that maybe not a great sign. So, yeah, and one of the arena crew is looking at it, and they don't seem to be feeling real good about it either. Looks like, from here, it almost looks like it's gone all the way through to the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's gone through to the floor. But
ice, in case you're wondering, it depends on the building. But
they're saying they're going to play.
Yeah, I guess so.
Here we go. All right, good news.
Yeah.
Good news. We play hockey.
Yes. And we got a minute 50. What do we got? How much time do we have left? 58 seconds?
I thought it was 56.5 or 54.6, but I saw him pop up like 29 seconds there. So I don't.
All right, well, we'll find out here in a moment because they still have to finish up what was remaining in that second period when the ice problem arose, and it appears as though they are satisfied with that spot. The players obviously will all skate by it just to check it out to see what they might be dealing with.
Well, and they got to deal with it. It's incredibly dangerous for players to get his foot in there and hit that concrete below. I mean, you'll break an ankle. And you see so many players coming over just checking it, right? They just want to make sure. And I don't blame them.
Well, while we wait, it gives us a chance to just praise Dan Hasty. You can never have enough minutes of the day, or hours for that matter, to praise Dan Hasty.
I agree.
But he, without a doubt, is the guy that West Michigan is extremely proud of. I am very proud of him. He's like a son to me. And he's an amazingly talented baseball play-by-play guy.
Yes.
And not to mention, I told him before, he can do hockey easily.
Well, if you can do I'm convinced if you can do baseball, you can do any sport. Baseball is the hardest sport to, right? I mean, how do you fill up all that? Oh my gosh. I show up with, 4 pages of notes. I can't imagine how many notes the color guy's got to show up. He's got to be 100 pages.
And they play double the games.
Yeah, right.
And he's working by himself on the road.
Yeah, right. I don't know how you do it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah. All right. We'll get back to Dan Hasty in a bit.
All right, so they're going to say, now what are they still haven't decided how many seconds in this second period.
All right, we're set. Face-off will come to the left of the Manitoba net.
56.5. I was right. Okay.
That's what we got left in the second period. When they finish that, they'll just switch ends and go right back at it. So good to have you back along with us on Wood Radio and FloHockey. The Griffins with a 1-0 lead. The lone goal, Amadeus Lombardi, 4:05 into this second period of play. And here's an icing call against Manitoba. And right back into the Moose zone, they'll go for another face-off with 48.4 seconds now remaining in what was left of period number 2.
Tight games both yesterday and today. Not a lot of scoring chances. Very few shots yesterday. Manitoba with 22, Grand Rapids with 19 so far in this game. Grand Rapids with 17, Manitoba with 16. Hardly a shoot fest.
Well, the Moose have had 22 shots on net in each of their first 3 games, Lou. So
yeah,
that tells you anything, and they're kind of heading in that same direction, though right now they're ahead of that pace with 16 nearing the end of the second period, and puck shot into that Grand Rapids zone to our right. Kosa out of his net, flipped it down to the near corner. A scrum ensues there as the Griffins Tuomisto trying to keep his man at bay. Henrik Nikkanen now puck jammed around to the near side. Moose have got it. Feed it across for the long one-timer, and Kosa deflected that one with a blocker up into the netting behind the Grand Rapids goal with 5.7 seconds now to go here in period number 2.
I've always wondered in these situations, nobody ever does it, but 5.7 seconds, probably too many to pull your goalie and get an extra shooter out there. But at what point, Bob, would you do it? I mean, if there were 2 seconds left?
3 maybe.
Maybe 3, right?
Yeah,
you don't see it much.
No.
You don't see it much. Got to have a good centerman for that. You got to have somebody who's going to win that draw clean.
And the Moose
there it
do,
is.
and a shot that got blocked. The rebound, a backhander. That one stopped out in front. Winds up in the right wing corner. Centering pass. Boy, the Moose got a lot done there in a span of 5 seconds, didn't they?
They did. And that's a little bit of my point, right? You don't think of face-offs much, but but if you coach, they're set plays. It's like a football play.
So now we have 40 minutes officially into the books, and you can add one more shot on the board for Manitoba, so they wind up out shooting the Griffins 11-9 in that second period. And it is dead even, 17 shots each, but it is 1-0 Grand Rapids on the goal by Amadeus Lombardi. And the assist to Dominic Shine. If you're joining us late, Griffins without Carter Mazer, injured halfway into the game last night. Upper body still status remains day-to-day for now. We don't have a real clear picture on the precise nature of that injury and how long he might be out. And that's a tough one, no doubt, for Grand Rapids. And add to that, Marco Kasper on recall to the Detroit Red Wings, making his season debut in the NHL today. He played a game with them last year, so it wasn't his NHL debut, but kind of felt like maybe it was.
I'm not sure we're going to see him back anytime soon.
Yeah.
He played great today.
He's ready. He's ready to play in the NHL, Lou. It's just a matter of whether they've got space for him. And
it's a numbers game, right?
All right, here we go now. Third period underway. Goaltenders do switch ends, and Kosa back in that net to our left. Even Chentis for Manitoba to our right. Moose have got the puck, right point, long shot. That one deflecting down to the near corner. Manitoba comes up with it, but a centering attempt will be picked off. Snively takes a look, worked it up the right wing to Dries, and Dries will chip it deep into the Manitoba zone. Now Dries took the puck away, sails it to the goal mouth. It comes off the corner boards back to the line where Emil Viro let a shot in towards the net that deflected wide and caromed out the near side. The Moose come up with it. Here's Toninato now back the other way. Rolled it out in front, swept away by the goal paddle of Sebastian Kosa and gobbled up now by Emil Viro. We are 1 minute into period number 3. The Griffins on top here, 1-0. Looking to start the season 3-0 on home ice. They're 0-1 on the road. They'll get a pretty good dose of action on foreign ice coming up in the next week and a half or so as the Moose are called on an offside. Griffins will play 4 straight on the road, all out east as they head to Springfield for a game Friday night, to Allentown, Pennsylvania for games on Saturday and Sunday against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and then finish it up a week from Wednesday in Hartford.
There's an old saying, teams are made on the road, right, Bob? It's when the guys get to spend time with each other, get to know each other. You got to hang with each other. You go into some towns they're not used to going to.
And we'll be there to bring you all the action on your home away from home. Griffins Hockey on Wood Radio. Now, here's Elmer Soderblom with a puck for Grand Rapids. He'll dump it into the Manitoba zone to our right. Minute and a half gone, third period. 1-0 Griffins. Lombardi battling for the puck, comes up with it, slithered free. Now centered one. Boy, he might have been able to stump that thing in as he already had his mindset he was going to pass that thing, Lou. And the goaltender made a move and left that far side of the net open. I wonder if he had known that. He might have tried to stuff it in. Here comes Lombardi again in the right circle. A shot. Ooh, and fighting that one off DiVincentis. Now it's picked up by Lombardi. Back to the line. Shai Bouillon drifting across to the far side. He'll steer it in behind the net. Lombardi in after it there, as is Cross Hannes. Hannes came away with it now, trying to jam it down the boards. Hits a leg. And the Moose have it. Now give it away. Here's Danielson. Look at that move. Dropped it off in front. Bouillon trying to cut in. And he was poke checked. And Manitoba now will head back to center. Dump the puck in need of a line change. They'll get one as Kosa out of his goal to play it for Shai Bouillon.
Nice steal by Danielson. That little play there.
Here's Parker Ford taking the puck away for the Moose. Back in across the line. Long shot. Blocker saved by Kosa. Rebound near corner. Moose have got it. Back to the blue line. Bartoa's shot. He ripped it wide. The rebound. Side of the net. They're poking at it. And it's covered up. In fact, underneath the fallen Griffin, it looks like out in front of her. I guess the fallen Moose. C.J. Cease. And that will bring a face-off to the left of the Grand Rapids net.
That Parker Ford's a tenacious guy. He's kind of fun to watch. 17:15 to go in this third period. Shots, Griffins 18, Manitoba 19.
Parker Ford, a Rhode Island native.
Yeah.
Lou from Wakefield and stayed in state for his collegiate hockey at Providence.
Yeah. Gritty player. I like watching him play. Not big either.
Undrafted.
Yep.
Hoping to become one of those great stories of players who never got selected in the draft but still go on and have a solid career. Now here's Watson cutting in, sharp angle shot. That one stopped by DiVincentis. Up ice go the Moose. Will dump the puck into the Grand Rapids zone. Left wing corner they go. Now puck played away as Toninato can't come up with it. Austin Watson does. Left to right, he weaves it across the Manitoba line. He'll drop the puck off to Danielson. He was met, bumped off the puck, and the Moose now pick it up. Here's Mason Shaw, provincial native of the province of Manitoba. Now the Griffins have the puck. Rafferty across that line, pass into the middle, block. Here come the Moose with numbers across that line. The trailer, Lambert walks in, shoots. Good save by Sebastian Cosi. Looked behind him there, but he had it in between the pads all along, and the play whistled down.
Well, when you're that tall, your leg pads are pretty high. It's easy to get them in those leg pads and not be quite sure where they are.
That's as good a chance as the Moose have had, Lou, is Lambert, and he is one of their more dangerous offensive weapons. Trying to beat Kosa on that glove side, and Sebastian stayed right with him and makes a terrific save. Now Moose winning the draw. Lundmark lets it go. Blocked, rebound in front. They score. A backhander up into the upper left-hand corner, and the Moose 43 minutes and 52 seconds into this hockey game have scored the first goal by an opponent in this building in 160-plus minutes of hockey.
Yeah, that's just a hard-working goal for Manitoba. They've been really kind of putting the pedal to the metal this third period, and finally they get a nice shot. Kosa really doesn't have much chance on it. There was a block out in front. The rebound comes out, and they were able to backhand it into the net.
Tyson Empey, who we've hardly mentioned his name, has the goal on that rebound of the shot by Lundmark from out near the blue line. And Empey was down on a knee when he let that backhander go. What a shot that turned out to be to tie up the hockey game at 1 apiece. And play resuming now is Manitoba across the Griffin line. They're going to be called offside here. And now we got tempers flaring a bit. That all started with Shebrikov. Griffins were not happy with him about something. Not sure what it was, but Didier took a run at him. Mason Shaw jumped in there to the aid of his teammate Shebrikov. 15:35 left third period. So Tyson Empey, a native of Swift Current, Saskatchewan, another Western Canadian boy.
You know about that. You know about that Western League, Bob.
Oh, it's a great league.
Yep.
Western Junior Hockey League. You want to see some entertaining hockey, Lou, go out and check them out. Of course, the Western Junior League, the Ontario Junior League, the Quebec Major Junior League.
I think they all have a little different styles.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I tend to think of the Western League as a little more rough and tumble. The Quebec League maybe a little more, produces some pretty good goaltenders in that Quebec League.
Quebec League wide open.
Yep.
A lot of offense.
Yep. Of course, that's where Crosby came out of.
Now the puck down in the Grand Rapids zone. So Tyson Empey, that goal to tie things up at 1, and for the first time in 3 home games, the Griffins have been scored upon.
Now
the puck rolling around as Danielson let it slide through. Here's Tuomisto with the puck. As the Griffins have it at center. They'll dump it into the Manitoba zone. Moose up with it though, quickly back the other way. Now Emil Viro with it. Behind his zone net, fed it around the near side. Lundmark holding it in. Left wing corner they go. As the Griffins jammed it free, and now a scrum along the near boards once again. Picked up and cleared by Antetokounmpo down the ice. That one deflected. Whoop, they're still going to call icing. As Hannes and Empey now have a word or two. As we'll get a draw to the left side of Sebastian Cossa. And a brand new game. Lombardi's goal at 4:05 of the second period. Stood up until that tally by Tyson Empey. Moose off the draw, have the puck, right point, long shot. That one in on goal, save, rebound. Got away from Cossa, now played by Grand Rapids up the far side. Moose knocked it down, held it in for a moment, but Tuomisto will play it on now to Lombardi, and he'll flip it behind the Manitoba net. Out of the goal, Divinchentis. Wrapped it around the near side. Here's C.J. Cease now. A pass ahead to Ford. He can't knock it down. Played by Soderblom, and he'll tap it back to the Manitoba zone. Griffins will complete a line change now with 6.5 minutes gone in period number 3. 1-1 tie. Griffins and Manitoba Moose. Now puck dumped into the Grand Rapids zone. Delayed offside. Moose will clear the zone though. And action will continue in the Griffins. Valinder now with the puck dropped to Snively. Snively wrapped it around to the near point for Rafferty. Left side, here's Valinder letting a shot go. That one deflected behind the net. Now came Freese out of the goal. And reaching down, Divinchentis will cover it up and get a whistle. 13:06 to play in the third period. We've got a break. It's a 1-1 tie. Griffins and the Moose. Griffins hockey tonight from Van Andel Arena on Wood Radio and FloHockey. Moose tying up the game here in this third period, finally getting a goal. And this is the second matchup between these two teams. Of course, the Griffins shutting out Milwaukee here last Friday night 3-0. Shutting out the Moose last night 1-0. And shut them out for 44 minutes and 5 seconds, or 43 minutes and 52 seconds of this one, Lou, before Tyson Empey scores his first goal of the season. Playing in his first game is Empey, and as we mentioned, haven't called his name much. He's on that fourth line, and along with Henry Nikkanen, hadn't called any of those guys' names very much, Lundmark included, and Lundmark and Nikkanen pick up the assist on the goal.
Yep, a Canadian from a Swede from a Finn.
There you go. Now the Moose.
There's a nice play.
Working in, high slot they go, angling to the near side. A shot there, that one by Kuzman, blocked. Kuzman's got it back out in front of the net for the one-timer. That didn't get through, but Kuzman picks it up again. Centering effort, knocked down. Moose though, right back up with it. Sharp angle attempt. Stopped by Sebastian Cossa. Moose have a little extra jump now, it seems, as the Griffins will take the puck away, and Snively works it up the left wing and flipped it down into that Manitoba zone.
Yep, Griffins need an energy line, Bob. Manitoba's clearly got the momentum right now.
Shots favor the Moose, 22-20, so the Moose are at that figure that they have finished each of their first 3 games at, 22 shots on net, but they will certainly wind up with more than that tonight with still 11:40 to go in this third period. Now puck in behind the Manitoba net. The Moose will tap it around the far side, and here's Janssen-Fialbi with it. Axel Janssen-Fialbi and across the line. A little give and go with Zhilkin. They dump the puck around the near boards. It's going to go all the way back into the Moose zone once more. And Manitoba back to get it. Sautner sending it from center ice back behind the Griffin net. Kosa wandering out of his goal. Will play the puck. Or
that could have been dangerous. Wow. Big dump at the ice.
Lagesson with the puck now ahead to Hunter Johannes. Johannes stood up just inside the line as the Moose will carry him it all the way down. That's going to be an icing call against the visitors with 10:51 to go in this third period of a 1-1 hockey game.
I'd like to see the Griffins take advantage of this faceoff. The momentum really has been with Manitoba since that goal. And now you've got a faceoff to the right of the goaltender down in the Manitoba zone. You'd like to see a nice play right here to generate a scoring chance.
Amadeus Lombardi on the draw. Moose win it though and work it up ice, dump it back into the Grand Rapids zone. That one right to the goal mouth. Sebastian Kosa will take no chance and cover it up. So a draw now to the left of the Grand Rapids net. Tyson Empey, as we mentioned, undrafted. Played in the American League with Tucson the first couple of years pro. And then most of last season with South Carolina in the East Coast League. Scored 19 goals in 64 games.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Almost a 20-goal score in 64. Not bad.
First game with Manitoba here tonight, and he
pots a goal.
Yeah. Now the Moose chasing the puck down on their own end. They work it up the right wing. Dump it in deep. Puck steered around to the near side. It came free, and the Griffins have numbers the other way. Here's Hannes right in with a shot. A good save.
See, I think that was a great shot. I think he was aiming for the goalie's pads, and it did create a rebound. I thought that was a good play.
And the shot blockered aside by Steven Chentis, and now Manitoba back into the Griffins end. Here's a pass and a one-timer. Cease just fanned on that one. It went right by him, and puck's at center ice for the Moose. Will turn with it and deliver it right back to the Grand Rapids zone. Far corner. Good job there by Sheldon Dries to fight off his man. Griffins heading up ice. Now have to hold up with Shine in ahead of the play. Rafferty hangs onto that puck and now shoots it behind the Moose net with 9:33 to go in the third period. The game tied 1-1. Here's Chibrikov. Up ice he goes. Nikita Chibrikov dumped it in. Griffins, though, break it up, and Joe Snively heads back up ice. Got the puck to Shine. Shine held up at the line by Ashton Sautner as the Moose feed it around to the far boards. Mason Shaw tied up on the play. The puck, though, squirts free, and Toninato will go in and get it. Toninato dropped it off along the near side. Dawson Bartow played it out to center ice. Griffins will gain control of it there now, and it's played by the Griffins' Emil Viro. He feeds it on to Amadeus Lombardi. Lombardi will shoot it behind the Manitoba net. The Moose, though, quick to pounce on it. Quickly up the left wing to Zhilkin. Zhilkin dropped it off all along the left wing boards, where it's handled now by Janssen-Fialbi. Near side puck into the circle, where the Griffins chopped it off to the boards once again, but Zhilkin comes away with it. Now look out in front for Fialbi, in a shot that hit a skate. Winds up, though, on the stick of Anhorn. Now across near point. Here's Kuzman, put it right to the goal mouth. That one sailed all the way through and will wind up at center ice.
Oh, look at
now
this.
the Griffins taking away Lombardi. He's got a break, walks in, shoots, scores! Amadeus Lombardi. He's got two. The Griffins have two. And a 2-1 lead with 8:06 to play.
Manitoba defenseman misplays the puck and falls down. Lombardi's away on a race, and he goes down. A great set of hand moves. He dekes the goaltender, slides it past the Manitoba goaltender, and with 8:06 to go in this game, Griffins retake the lead 2-1. What a beautiful play they're showing on the big screen. Wow.
What a move.
It really is. A Vegematic slice and dice right there.
Went from forehand to backhand, back to forehand, and tucked it from a sharp angle just inside the post. And Amadeus Lombardi, the story of the night for the Griffins right now, with both Grand Rapids goals. And both the result of just going hard to that net, Lou. He had an option there, too, as the Moose now back into the Grand Rapids zone. Reaching in, jamming the puck right at Kosu, who makes the save on it. He had a trailer coming in.
Right.
Essentially, it was a 2-on-0, really.
Yeah. I think he made the right choice. I mean, anytime you score, of course, it's the right choice. but the kid's got a lot of confidence in himself. He's a great stick handler.
Play stop. We'll take a break. 7:47 to go. And the Griffins are back on top at 2-1. We'll come back with more American Hockey League action in just a moment. It's Griffins hockey tonight from Van Andel Arena. We'll get together. He's a terrific human being, isn't he? And
you know, what a blessing for this town to have so many pro sports teams.
Oh, isn't it great?
And you know, we're going to get another one with the sports, with the soccer team.
Soccer, yeah. Brand new stadium to be constructed right here in downtown Grand Rapids across the river.
Yep, I went to, it's going to be a stadium very similar to what's in Louisville, and I saw a soccer game there. It was a gas.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be great.
Yep. I do too.
I've never been a big soccer fan, Lou, but boy, I'll tell you, I get really charged up when I see highlights of the soccer games. The goals are just remarkable.
Well,
Those guys are incredibly talented.
TV has gotten better because they can zoom in.
Yeah.
In the old days was just, you just saw, you know, from far away, and it just didn't look like that much. But when they show the foot talent of those guys, unbelievable.
Incredible. And then the crowd, the noise level is just incredible. The chants, I love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, we're having a lot of that here at the Van Andel Arena with the Griffins, thanks to Amadeus Lombardi, are back on top at 2-1. 6.5 minutes to go in the third period.
So I'm looking for the defensive zone structure now for the Griffins. It looks like they're going to keep one forward high. With 6:24 to go, they got a 1-goal lead. They're not going to neutral zone trap.
And now here comes Snively with a puck. He's got a trailer. Lombardi tried to drop it back to him. He's picked off, and now what do we get? I think we're going to get a penalty. Is it a penalty to Grand Rapids, or was the puck just knocked down with a high stick? Yep, I think the puck was knocked down.
Yep.
Kind of turned away from the play there, so
I'm not
really
sure.
See it.
Yeah. Well, I'll take that any day of the week as opposed to a penalty. 6:13 to go. Griffins being outshot 25-22. That doesn't matter because they have a 2-1 lead in this game.
take advantage. The Griffins play their next 4 on the road. In fact, 7 of the next 8 games will be played away from Van Amber. They're in the lone home game, and that's Stretch Lou, November the 1st, a Friday night, 2 weeks from now, when they take on the Rockford Ice Hogs.
All Saints Day. That's what that is. Yeah. All Saints Day.
That'll be our first TV game, in fact, with the WXSP. Looking forward to bringing you more games across the airways of WXSP, along with our flagship radio station, Wood Radio, on both the AM and the FM dial. Here's an icing call against Grand Rapids.
I'll bet you didn't know the word for Halloween comes from November 1st. All Saints Day. Halloween is All Hallowed Eve. So it actually refers to the night before All Saints Day. All Hallowed Eve. Halloween. That's what happens when your color guide's a nerd.
Speaking of, not to call him a nerd, but and he isn't, he's nothing even remotely close to a nerd, but my son Sam, who is a PhD student at the University of Iowa, he's always feeding me these great statistics. You had brought up earlier, what point do you kind of draw that line where you pull your goaltender when you got a face-off in the attack zone? Well, the Winnipeg Jets did it the other night.
Yeah.
With about 4.5 seconds to go. It was either for the Jets or against the Jets, but he sent me the video. We'll have to look this up.
Right.
But the team that took the draw in the attack zone got a goal scored on them.
Right. So the answer is not 4.5 seconds.
No. I think that's the,
I think that's the answer, not 4.5 seconds. 5:30 to go here in this period, and the coach in me says at 5 minutes to go, Manitoba, down by a goal, is going to have to activate their defensemen. It means they got to start taking chances, pinching their D. We saw last night, I think it was with 3 minutes to go, they pulled the goalie, right, Bob? I think it was 3 minutes to go, they pulled the goalie. All right, they're confabbing. They're going to move the face-off now out to the neutral zone. Center ice, which usually means one of the linesmen made a bad call on an icing. So they fix it and they bring it to center ice.
Still trying to find that video, by the way. I remember hearing about it. I didn't see the actual.
Yeah. Well, the other one I've seen, and we actually saw one of the Red Wing coaches do it one time. You get a 2-man advantage. Do you pull the goaltender and have a 6-on-3? That's the other one I've seen in the middle of a game. Now, those are the kind of things that youth hockey you should do, because it ain't life and death and nobody's career's on the line.
Face off at center. Played by the Moose. They dump it in. Griffins wrapped it up the far boards and come up with it. Up the left wing they go. Ryklowski pass it in the middle, rolled away. Ryklowski up with it, a shot, and that one stopped by DiVincentis, and he dives out to cover it behind his net. And now some more roughhousing. Austin Watson mixing it up. Looks like Ashton Sautner. Dawson Bartow in there as well.
Both Griffin defensemen very smartly staying above the tops of the circles, because if one of them went into the scrum, it changes the face-off position. Good discipline, smart hockey.
Close call there is Ryklowski with a great chance. After throwing that puck in the middle, the Moose defenders converged on the Griffins forward Watson, and then the puck deflected right back to Ryklowski, who behind the defense had a great chance from in tight, but another big stop by DiVincentis. It remains 2-1 Griffins with 5:09 to go. We're in the third period, and we'll continue along. Stay right with us. Griffins hockey continues in a moment on Wood Radio.
No!
Housing out in front of the Grand Rapids bench. They were working over Ryklowski there, and stepping into it again, Austin Watson.
This is why I think weekends you should always play the same team twice. I just think there's a greater intensity level. It's like college, right? College hockey, you go on the road, you play 2 against the same team.
I miss the old home and aways, Lou.
That's same. I mean, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I think I'm good
harder,
with that.
Harder to do now, obviously, but back in the day in the old IHL, most of the cities were only a few hours apart. You had Kalamazoo and Muskegon and Flint and Saginaw.
The Red Wings would play at home against Toronto. They get on the same train, they go to Toronto. By the way, do you know where ties in hockey came from?
No.
It came from train schedules during World War II. They didn't play to ties in the olden days. They played to if somebody won. But because they had to get on these train schedules because of World War II, they had to finish the game, and they played the ties.
I kind of in a way miss. I never thought I'd say this, but I kind of miss the ties. Just as long as they're not like 15 of them by season's end.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last night, Larry and I, and will the shootout ever go away, Lou? And a lot of people would like to see maybe a 7-minute overtime.
I'll tell you, I'd like to see 4-on-4, then 3-on-3, then 2-on-2, and 1-on-1 until the game's over.
Don't think it would ever get to that, but I'm something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just play till somebody wins.
4:22 to go as play down below is ongoing. Not a whole lot happening. Big collision a moment ago. You might have heard the crowd roar. The Moose now setting up in their own end. Here's Lambert with a puck. Gave it away at center ice. Shine.
There you go.
Tried to move it into the middle. He fanned on it. Now gets it back and jams it down into the Manitoba zone. Played near side by Solomonson. Now up the left wing. Here's Brad Lambert across the line of pass. Intercepted in the way. Go the Griffins 3-on-2. Here's Hannison in the middle. Left side takes a return pass and a shot. Saving the rebound. Ripped just wide. As down on the ice, hurt in front of that net is Solomonson, who either got hit. Well, he could have gotten hit in a number of different ways. Bottom line is he got hit in the face, and he's going off as the Griffins, meanwhile, with the puck bouncing into the Manitoba zone.
I don't think he got hit with a puck. I don't think he'd be getting up if he got hit with that puck.
Now 3:25 left. 2-1. Grand Rapids on top. Here's Dawson Bartow spinning away from the forecheck of Lombardi. Across the line to Nikkanen. Pass it in the middle. Out in front, intended for Empey, broken up. Now the Griffins back the other way. Watson scoops the puck into the right wing corner to our right. Near corner, Sauntner. Tied up by Lombardi, but got free to get the puck to Dawson Bartow, whose pass at center ice knocked down. Played by the Griffins, Lagesson. On right wing now to Watson. Watson flipped it down behind the net. The Griffins go digging in after it there. Knocked free by Rikloski, but played away by the Moose. However, losing control of it was Kevin Conley, and the Griffins now will play catch to the to the end boards they go. Puck jammed around to the far corner. It'll be Lambert to go in and get it. Now Brad Lambert got it back to the point. Here's Lundmark. Far side, long shot, blocked out in front, and Ford took a swipe at it. Puck chopped up against the end boards, where the Moose will pick it up now. Right point, long a shot, and that one gloved down by Kosa. And he'll hold on with 1 minute and 12 seconds to play in regulation time. The goaltender pulled the net to our right empty. The Griffins trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, what's great about Kosa freezing the puck is you can change players. If there'd been an ice scene, you can't change your players, so you get fresh legs out there. Really important to see if we can win this face-off, get it down into the Manitoba zone. Minute 12 to go. Great game.
Now the puck face off to the left of the Grand Rapids net. Moose win control of it. Lambert spins away from Dries. Angles to the side of the net. Now feeds it right to the goal mouth. It winds up to the near corner with a minute to go. Now Griffins will come up with a puck and turn with it. A clearing attempt off a body at the point, but it does find its way to center ice. And the Moose now have to clear the zone and do just that. Is standing in his own end with the puck is Selemonson. 45 seconds to go. Now it's Lambert weaving it across that Griffin line. Right circle, a shot, and that one turned aside by the blocker of Kosa. Rebound played by Janssen Fialbi in traffic. Dropped it back to the point. Played now by Kuzman across to the right side. Bartow, a shot blocked. They get it back. Another attempt right in front. On the doorstep. Oh, and missing an empty net was Season. Look at the save. Sebastian Kosa diving across to make a spectacular glove save and hold on with 20.3 seconds to go.
Save of the game. Manitoba had a great scoring chance right before that sequence. They're showing the save here on the big screen. Oh, my goodness.
My.
Oh,
that's even better than I thought initially.
Oh, that's a felony in 5 states.
Oh, my.
Oh, thievery.
What
Absolute
a
thievery.
Stop by Kosa.
What a
Holy
highlight.
mackerel.
Where the real value of that one, Bob, is seeing it from behind the net, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
He'll look at a draw to his left with 20.3 seconds to go. Sebastian Kosa, spectacular. Still time left for Manitoba, though. Face-off in the Griffins' end. It goes into the corner, taken away, and turning with it. The Griffins Snively lifted it down the ice. Will it go far enough for icing? It will, with 11 seconds left, 10.7 to be precise. And they'll try it again, and this time to the right of Sebastian Kosa. My, oh my. What a glove save by Kosa, who was down and out. Somehow recovered and falling across to his left. Gloved that shot heading to an empty net. Here we go. Toninato on the face-off. Griffins win it. Into the corner, Rafferty will ramp it up the boards. It did not come out, but a second try. Shine will clear it, and that's going to do it. And the Griffins are going to sweep the Moose. 1-0 last night, 2-1 tonight. Goaltending has been nothing short of amazing in 3 games here at Van Andel Arena, where the Griffins have surrendered just 1 goal. They've only scored 3. 1 last night, 2 tonight, but enough to win and sweep the Moose.
Well, I don't know who the third star of the game's going to be, but I think Kosa's going to be the second star. Lombardi will be the first, or vice versa. What a game. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a little more entertaining tonight than last night, Lou, although not like last night's game wasn't entertaining, but this one,
but you know,
drama.
To me, the real turning point was after Manitoba tied it. That steal and goal by Lombardi just completely changed the dimension of this game. The momentum had clearly swung to Manitoba.
13-7, Moose outshot Grand Rapids in that third period. But Sebastian Kosa with the eye-popping save in the final minute with that glove hand. And he, in the end of the night, stops 29-30, and the Griffins win it by a final of 2-1. We'll take a break. Post-game show coming up. We'll have highlights. We'll have a guest. We have put in the request to chat with Amadeus Lombardi, whose 2 goals propelled the Griffins to the win tonight. We'll be back to tell you all about it. This is Griffins Hockey post-game wrap-up coming up next on Wood Radio and FloHockey.
Is he the third star?
I think so, yeah. I don't know how you give him a third. Oh, he's number 2, yeah.
I didn't see the third star. Did you, Bob?
No, I didn't. It must have been Manitoba, though.
Yeah. Maybe the goalie. Maybe Empey. No, here it is. It's Empey.
Empey, yeah. Okay, Sammy said Winnipeg pulled their goalie and scored on the face-off in the attack zone. So, well, yeah, they didn't get scored on.
Got it.
So, yeah, that doesn't really answer the question as to. I
but
think,
they did it with 4.5 seconds.
I think 4 seconds or less, you're
I think
pretty
you're safe.
But again, you could score in that 4 seconds, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
If you want to draw cleanly and quickly fired it down. Yeah, you could do it in 4 seconds. Yep. 3 maybe, but that would be tough.
You got to win it.
Yeah.
And in most lineups, face-offs, you don't have a defenseman behind you to shoot it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the Grand Rapids Griffins are a perfect 3-0 now at home, and they've given up only 1 goal in those 3 games. I was really hoping, Lou, and I'm sure everybody else was as well, that the Griffins could maybe get another shutout. Wouldn't that have been a story? 3 home games and not allowing a single goal, and they almost did it until 3 minutes and 52 seconds into the third period here tonight. They had shut out the Moose last night. They had shut them out for the first 43 minutes and 52 seconds of this one, but Empey not only spoiled the shutout bid, but he made a game of it, tying it up at 1 before Amadeus Lombardi, who just was announced a moment ago as the #1 star of the hockey game, and as well he should be, as he's the guy that scored both goals for Grand Rapids in this one. And Sebastian Cossa, his goaltending was splendid again as the Griffins win it by a final of 2-1 and a thriller here tonight, Lou, at the Van Andel Arena.
Yeah, I think the three turning points in this game. The first was killing the 50-plus second two-man advantage. I thought that was critical, right? The second was Lombardi's thievery going down and the great goal that he scores. And then the last turning point, of course, was Kossa's incredible save right near the end of the game, right? I mean, that's just highlight kind of stuff. I thought those were, to me, the 3 keys of victory today.
Yeah, no question. A lot of good things we saw here tonight, Lou, and we saw a team play really well without, again, key performers, 2 of the most noted prospects in all of hockey, let alone just within the Detroit system. Both Carter Mazer out with injury tonight. Of course, Marco Kasper earning the call-up to Detroit and playing in their 5-2 win at Nashville today, and he played very well, not surprising. And again, I want to re-emphasize what we talked about earlier, that, Kasper's the kind of guy that's going to bring some energy to your lineup. And he's playing so well down the stretch last season, and then a terrific start to this year. I don't think there's any question in the eyes of most that he's ready. He's already set to play. He's at that point now where after 1 year in the American Hockey League, he was mature beyond his years even coming here last year. But he's ready to play in the National Hockey League. It's just a numbers game for him, keeping him out of the NHL. But more games like today for Marco Kasper, they're going to have to find a way to keep him in that lineup. Those are decisions that are way beyond our pay grade, but it is fun to watch Marco Kasper and Carter Mazer and the rest, Nate Danielson as well. But today, Kasper getting a chance to play, picking up an assist and a +2 in that win, and he brought just that, the energy that all the Red Wing players were looking for. They all made the same comment that he's going to bring energy to the lineup. He did that. And the end result, a 5-2 win for Detroit, a much-needed win for the Red Wings. So the Griffins, without him and Mazer, still get it done here tonight.
Yeah, I think we forget, we're so used to living in North America. When you look at a guy like Marco Kasper, to realize he's Austrian, which means he speaks German. He goes to Sweden has to go to high school there, learn another language, right? Plays in a Swedish system, right? And then, and so he's already made, by the time he comes here, he's made major life changes, right? And so we always talk about how hard it is to get used to the smaller ice and you know, this kind of system and all that. That kid's made so many adjustments in his life already. That I think they're just well prepared to make that jump.
Well, and again, just as we said, mature beyond his years, and that was the case with Mort Seider.
Same,
you know,
right.
when he came here. I mean, he is to this day still the most mature 18-year-old kid I've ever met in my lifetime. You would have never, in a million years, if you didn't know any better, and you were around him, you know, whether it be here at the rink or out in the community, you would have never known he was just 18 years old, Lou, when he played here in Grand Rapids that first year. You know, obviously a ton of credit to his parents and just, you know, the opportunities that he had in playing the game at a high level. But like you say, here's Casper even more so, playing in another country, learning another language.
Well, Moritz Seider did the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't grow up through the German system.
Right.
He came up through the Swedish system.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is why the Wings keep looking at that Swedish system.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty impressive, no
Yeah.
doubt. And great to see Casper get the chance to play today and play well. Not surprising. Right here, 2-1 Griffins with the victory over Manitoba. And again, sweeping the series, giving up just 1 goal in 3 home games. Grand Rapids 3-1 in the season. The Moose fall to 2-2. We'll continue along. We look to visit with Amadeus Lombardi, talk about his second season pro, and I had a chance to spend some time with him up in Traverse City for the Prospects Tournament. He was kind of a late add to that Prospects Tournament, but I think that, and we'll ask him about it, it might just do him a world of good as he tries to come back in year 2 and play with that confidence that helped him produce 100 points in his final year in Flint in the OHL. We'll have highlights of this one for you as well. 2-1, Griffins win it. Stand by. More coming your way live from Van Amvel Arena. This is the post-game show in Griffins hockey on Wood Radio. All right.